This is the X&C Podcast, your Xbox newscast, featuring Colteastwood and Mag, hosting industry interviews and gaming talk live on YouTube every Monday night at 5 p.m. on the West Coast, 8 p.m. on the East Coast. For all of you listening around the world, X&C Podcast is available on demand on Spotify, Google, and Apple Podcasts. Welcome to the show. Join the chat, hit the like button, and let's get into this week's topics with the Xbox newscast. Welcome to X&C Podcast, episode 233, here with your host, me, Colteastwood. And over here,
That's right.
Finally pulled him back out of the dumpster, spending time with his family of all places. Meg, how
Nonsense.
are you?
I'm doing fantastic. Merry Christmas to everybody who celebrated. And of course, we got Happy New Year on the horizon. And I'm already upset because I looked at the chat and right away, even though I was just thinking about it the other day, I swear, I think it was yesterday, that blue number's in the chat. Yeah, I see you in there. And she says, I'm so excited to see what Colt has to talk about tonight. Not Mag. Not Mag. Just Colt. Okay, well, let me read that again. I'm so excited to see what Colt has to talk about. Blue Number, I thought we were friends. I really did, you don't come to the channel. We did that little Halloween thing where we had that fun with that ridiculous 80s arcade game. And now you've just broken my heart in two to end 2025. You don't even say, I'd like to see what Mag has to say on top of Colteastwood. But no, all Colteastwood. Okay.
Pause. Say it again.
Yeah. All Colteastwood. What?
Say the sentence
I don't even
again.
know what I just said.
You said, I want to see what Mag has to say on top of Colteastwood.
Oh, jeez. Oh, whoa. Hey, big pause right there.
Hey, Merry Christmas.
Yikes.
Just to make it fair enough, that blue number has been MIA for the rest of us as well. But there's been a bunch of games we've been playing, and we're like, party invite, text, Telegram and everything.
Right.
And she kind of came out of a little spot where she wasn't feeling well. So she's like, I finally feel like I can sit in front of games.
Fair enough.
So yeah, she had an excuse.
So clearly her judgment is being clouded by her illness that she didn't mention my name. So I have to chalk it up to that.
She had stage 19 Ebola.
You better
or
be kidding in there. I see what Decatron's saying in that chat there. Yeah, you better be joking around. I want to see happy laughy emojis and stuff.
Hey, what's up? King Fan Man is in the chat. Mag, go look right there, down at the bottom of the chat.
Man.
One of the legendary, I'm not even say one of the legendary Bethesda, Fallout, Starfield, Skyrim, you name it, content creators. I was on his podcast.
Yes.
And Mag, I finally stopped playing Fallout 4. I wanted to confess. To you.
No. For this week, ladies and gentlemen, let's just be honest here. He stopped playing for this week. The intervention is coming very soon. I can tell you that right now because he is literally showing all the signs of an addict. I swear I'm done with heroin, man. I'm done with it. All of a sudden, 3 days later, needles. Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, he's right back into it.
Meg, it's even worse than that. It's even worse.
Torontonitis sounds like a disease, Blue Number. It's Torontonian, to be
Torontonitis. Yeah, I have a little bit of the...
I got a little Torontonitis around the crotch and around my neck. And the Torontitis made me lose my hearing in one ear, but it's all right. It'll be good, man. It'll be fine. Just eat your beets, folks. Just eat your beets.
I'm pretty sure I have slap lung and radworms because, Mag, you're not going to like this, but I have a debilitating re-addiction. Oh, this is going to be embarrassing to say. To Fallout 76.
Okay.
I've put in probably 50 hours over the past week or so.
Okay.
I've been playing with that blue number. I've been playing Game Seeker. I've been playing with Red Wolf. And, the show came back, and I watched the show, and I went back into 76, and I didn't want to, but oh my gosh, I am having one of the best times I've had in a long time just playing that game.
Okay, so you went from heroin to cocaine. So you're just lying to yourself. So I'm done playing Fallout 4, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, it's so good.
And then all of a sudden he squeaks out, but I'm playing Fallout 76 instead. And I'm like, dude, it's the same thing. It's still an illness that you need to address. I have not played Resident Evil in months. I have kicked the habit temporarily until February comes along. Then forget it. Then I'm right back in it. You'll find me in the dens.
I have decided
in the dumpster.
I've decided because of you, Mag, I am going to go full force for Resident Evil Requiem and commit myself even though the uncomfortable feeling I get playing games like that can take away enjoyment, but I am going to power through until that addiction hits me because there's too many Resident Evil games that I've just set aside. So, but yeah, I've been playing
ridiculous.
Fallout. I need to do it. Okay. But I've been playing Fallout 76 like crazy, and the only reason why I say that out loud is because I have had a phenomenally wonderful time playing it, collecting and unlocking stuff and building and rebuilding my camp, and I did like a whole thing. And I'm going to be putting out a video about it in maybe about 2 weeks or so. Once the New Year stuff, so I've got a bunch of other projects. Meg and I got tons of content to work on. We're going to talk today about the show, about how, oh my gosh, I want to pull the no hair that we have on our heads.
You got more than me.
Everything's in turmoil, but there's so much to cover and so much to. Yeah, we'll get into it, but I'm having a great time. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Listen, man, I got to admit something, okay? You admitted the Fallout thing. We're sitting here in this AA circle. Hi, I'm Mag. Hi, Mag. And I am a bad gameaholic. My son, my grandmother, geez. My son's grandmother bought him Black Ops 7 for Christmas, right?
Okay.
And now that he's like neck deep into it, he's playing it, whatever else. He was thinking about buying Battlefield 6, but I'm like, dude, I'm almost done Battlefield 6 because now I'm like 150 hours in that game. I think, like, you know what I mean? Like, after a certain time, you kind of peter out with some of these shooters, right?
Yeah.
So I said, just stick with Black Ops, you'll be fine. Now, my wife is obsessed with Prop Hunt. You know that game where you dress up as like a cop, and then like you're moving around the map and you have to hide, and then you whistle, and then the other guys have guns. And they run. It's like a hide and seek. And then the other team runs around with guns, and they start shooting all the inanimate objects, or so it seems. And you're one of those objects. So you have to hide. So you might be a box, or you might be a fire hydrant, or a tree. And you're like literally a tree moving around the map, and you have to hide. And then you have to sit there and survive like till the timer runs out, right? So anyways, my wife is obsessed with that. My son is obsessed with playing Black Ops 7 now. And even though I gave the game a 5.4 on my channel when I did my marinated review, I got to tell you, I'm a fraud. I'm a fraud, okay? I'm just going to say it. I can't stop playing it because now I'm obsessed with getting these bloody camos.
Let me guess. It's fun.
I can't stop playing it. It's fun and it's bad and I can't stop, ladies and gentlemen. I'm a complete fraud. I'm just saying it right now. And the haters in the chat, I know you're going to love hearing that. You can get all excited and rub your nipples about what I just said a little bit later tonight after the show's over because I know that's exactly what you're going to do. But let me tell you something. I can't stop playing the stupid game. I got all these games, and I can't stop playing Black Ops 7. I mean, it also helps. I'm playing, with my son and my wife, and we're, playing a team. We did the campaign together and all that kind of stuff. We finished it. Now we're in the end game, and I just, you know what I mean? Ronaldo, you don't have to remind me, okay? You don't have to remind me.
Sometimes games are sometimes they're just fun. I want to say something about. They're just
fun. It's not good, but it's fun.
I want to say something about Call of Duty because the sentiment, right, from the masses that like to write stuff online, they always say Call of Duty's dead, right? That was the thing. Like, Call of Duty's dead. It's fallen away. The franchise is on this major downward slope. And then you have Black Ops 7, which is one of the lowest rated ones ever and the lowest sold and lowest played. But I was looking at the report from last year. Last year's Call of Duty Black Ops 6 was nearly like the peak of Call of Duty's franchise. Black Ops 6 was one of the highest rated. It was one of the highest sold. It blew up on Game Pass. It blew up on all the platforms. It was the most sold and most played on the consoles. And then you come to that was in 2024, and then you come to 2025. This one really sucks, according to everybody. And everyone's like, oh, the franchise is dead. I'm like, but last year it was doing incredibly well. And so I guess I just step back and think, I guess Call of Duty is doing really horrible this year, and they better pull it into gear next year, right?
Yeah. Let's not. Yeah, I was gonna say let's pump the brakes on that whole situation because it's still the 7th best-selling game of the year. That's horrendous. Now, mind you, we also have to add in the factors of like the people playing it on a subscription service. So you got the PC gamers and Xbox gamers playing it on Game Pass. However, it still sold infinitely better last year than it did this year. So there is a lot of that. Battlefield 6 took that crown from the shooter point of view anyway. And of course, Arc Raiders is doing what Arc Raiders is doing right now. Still, it's out of control. By the way, the chat is just absolutely hilarious tonight. Just absolutely hilarious. I can't Stop. Danny Passion, there you go. Okay, see, like I'm looking at this chat, and every time I try to talk to you, I look at the chat, and they're all saying hilarious things. So you guys are just, and gals are just too much. We absolutely love you guys.
And what a good time to take a moment, pull the e-brake, and think, thank goodness for good friends and nice people and an incredible chat that razzes us with a smile on their face and keeps us happy. Yeah, we've got a lot to talk about tonight, and
we do.
We've been busy. It was crazy. It's kind of a slow news week, but we all went through Christmas. I had a fantastic Christmas. My family is awesome. Sometimes you forget how my kids get along really, really well. I have 3 of them, and they just sit on the couch and laugh to themselves and ignore my wife and I sometimes because they're so buddy. And we have such a good time together. And last night we played this game that's been around for a couple years, but I didn't even know it existed, called the Jackbox, where you get on your phone and you get on your console, and it's an interactive game where you write in and vote with your phone, or you scribble in something, and there's all these game modes. And we played like 8 some game modes of this Jackbox thing on the console. Do you even know what this is?
Jackbox. Yeah. I know Jackbox.
I didn't even know about it.
They've been releasing those since the 360 days.
Well, what did they had a different name for them, because we still have the buzzers, and I posted a picture last night on Twitter of the Xbox 360 white thing with the big button, and then you have the X, Y, and B, and you can use that to, Decatron. I didn't even know Jackbox was a thing. And my daughter goes, oh yeah, we were playing that in high school. I'm like, why were we not doing this as a family? One of them was where you draw something and it puts it on a t-shirt, and this competition thing. Another thing where you have to figure out who isn't getting the answer, and it's like find the traitor among you. It was a whole thing. I can't sit here and explain it unless you played the game, but we had such a good time last night. When
it's actually gone
36.
Of course. And of course, when I wasn't frauding up playing a Black Ops 7 endlessly to get my candy cane skin on my gun. But anyways, either way, Decatron in the chat saying that Jackbox was actually on the PS1. And then, of course, Seth Monsters follows that up. That Jackbox is actually now on Netflix. So if you have Netflix, you could play it directly off the TV without even a console. If you have Netflix, of course.
And that's
like pretty cool.
And it sends the thing to your phone like it knows. It's crazy how organic and lifelike it feels. So somebody who at Decatron said Scene It was the game we used to play back before the consoles were big. My wife and I used to play You Don't Know Jack on the PC. Like that was a thing on like Windows 98 or whatever. We used to play that. And so they're all really the same. I wouldn't be surprised if Jackbox is made by the people that used to make You Don't Know Jack. It seems like it, but
sounds like it.
What a fun time we had doing that.
That's great.
So, I want to get into some of the topics because, there's been kind of an interesting, weird news week. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We appreciate you. We're live on YouTube. We're also on demand on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and other platforms. And it's been really cool to see so many people come and hang out with us on their free time on demand and hanging out live and being a part of the chat. You guys are amazing. The first thing I want to talk about is just a small news piece, but the 007 First Light was delayed, and I kind of have a mixed reception. Like, I don't really have a hype generating like birth baby growing inside me for this game. I know it's from the team that makes Hitman, which they're fantastic. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a good game, but now, and I want to get your take on this, Mag. It's been delayed a couple months, which is fine.
Yes.
But I'm not like, I don't have I love you're saying, I don't have a candle in the window for this 007 game just yet, but how are you feeling about this and the delay?
Well, you know what? I think this is all going back to the Grand Theft Auto 6 effect, where now that the game was delayed into November, I think that there is a lack of urgency for a lot of these earlier in the year game releases to release on time, because now that they've got that time. So remember that GTA 6 was supposed to release in May. And as a result of that, it got pushed another 6 months. So now these developers are like, whew, now they do this, right? They sigh of relief, and they're like, okay, we got an extra 6 months. Do we need a little bit more? That's where they go back to their teams. This is what I'm imagining. Like, it may or may not be the case, but it sounds like it's the case, where they go to the teams and are like, okay, guys, we just got a 6 month, like, wipe the brow situation here. Do you need a little more time to polish this game up? And of course, a developer will always say, we could always use more time, because you know how art is really never finished at the end of the day. And so they could say, you know what, we could use an extra 60 days. Or that kind of thing, right? And then you release it somewhere. It's at the end of May, right? Is that when it's coming out?
Give them plenty of time. Yeah.
Okay, now, so there's that. Now, the only other thing is that they also put it in the same week as Batman Arkham, whatever the hell it is, the Lego Batman.
Yeah. That's different
so
audience.
That's going to be a situation too. That's going to be a huge game. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a big selling game. I think that it's been a long time since we had a solid Lego game that's been absolutely incredible. I mean, we had the Skywalker saga, but essentially to me that was just a rehash of like all the other 6 Lego Star Wars games.
I didn't like that one because they changed the gameplay completely, and I love the classic.
They did.
Yeah. But did you end up playing that because that package is amazing. In concept, but did you end up playing through it at all?
Yeah, I did. I didn't enjoy it as much as I do like the other ones. Like I'm more of a just like you. I'm more of a traditional Lego player. Now I don't mind the open world hubs, for example. Like if you play like Lego Batman 2 or whatever, and then you've got like the little bit of an open world hub where you can go around and get like the gold, bricks and all that stuff to get your 100%
to unlock stuff. Because
I mean,
build the Batmobile. That stuff's always really cool.
So that was kind of fun, but like if you take it too far, it gets to a point where you lose the focus of the game. Like for example, I found that the Skywalker saga. Excuse me, I got hiccups. The Skywalker saga, I think, was a little bit too open where it lost its focus. You know what I mean? And so it got to the point where I'm wandering around Jakku, and I'm like, what am I supposed to be doing here? You know what I mean? It's like wandering around in the sand and.
Yeah, they made it like a third-person action game, which is cool for the modern moment, but
sure.
I don't know. I just feel like that original Star Wars trilogy game is almost perfect.
Like the best ones I've ever played were Lego Harry Potter, I think is the gold standard for the Lego games. They were absolutely unbelievable games. And how about that was just my opinion.
Did you play the Lord of the Rings ones?
Because I didn't like that one as much because
What's wrong with them?
I couldn't remember the characters. Like, I mean, like they had like all their, I mean, I knew the characters. I mean, obviously Legolas and Aragorn and everything else. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings buff. But when it got to some of like the lesser known characters and their abilities, I'm like, what does this guy do? It's like trying to play Lego Hobbit and trying to remember all the bloody dwarves. And I'm like,
I bought it on my ROG Ally.
Gimli and that, like, what are they supposed, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I played half of Fellowship on my ROG Ally last year. I forgot. Yeah, it was like a $3 purchase.
Right.
Yeah, sorry,
but either way,
I wanted you to say fool.
No. I was just going to say, let's get back to the 007 thing. I know we kind of went off on a Lego tangent there, but I mean, we have to think about.
You're saying that the 007's getting the Lego treatment before the 007 game comes out.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be a tough sell during that week, but I think it'll do all right. I'm getting the game. It was already gifted to me by Grumpy Old Fart, who's actually in the chat tonight. God bless him. Yeah, he got me that game, so I'll be streaming it on the channel as well as playing it when it comes out on my own. But either way, it's yeah, I mean, this is exactly what's happening. I think it's the GTA 6 effect where you're going to find these teams that are going to say, hey, we could use an extra 30 days. We could use an extra 60 days now that we don't have to worry about GTA 6 breathing down our neck in May. And that's why they wanted to release in March. So they got like a 7-week window.
Do you think there's some devs that are like, it's do or die. Let's get our game ready before GTA comes out? That maybe some devs that thought they were going to be holiday 26?
Yeah, like I think a lot of them pushed those release dates up so that they could get the, at least try to maximize sales before GTA 6 drops, because GTA 6 is also going to have legs, right? So that's the other thing that we have to think about. It's not going to be 6 days and everybody's going to drop it. This game's going to have legs for a while. And as a result of that, because, not only that, it's also the sales are going to have legs. So yeah, and you know what I mean? But it's going to be one of those games that's going to continue and carry on for several months. And then also, let's not forget the implementation of GTA Online. We'll call it GTA Online 2, I would imagine, or a revamping of the original GTA Online. And that's going to keep people engaged for even longer. And I think those developers know that. And as a result of that, it's going to remain in the zeitgeist of the video game conversation for several months. On top of that, like I said, the sales month after month after month, it's going to dominate sales and stay in the conversation. Therefore, everything else is going to kind of fall by the wayside. You know the meme where they've got like the lady holding the kid, and then the other one's drowning, and then at the bottom of the pool there's a skeleton in the chair. Yeah. Okay, so that's going to be every other game right after GTA 6 drops, because all the attention is going to be on that game, regardless of what comes out. And I think they knew that. So I think they were all trying to get it out before this game dropped. Now that it's not dropping where they said it was going to drop, now they're like, okay, well, you know what? We need an extra 60 days. Give us the extra time to polish this or whatever else. And I think that's going to be the case there. They also had moved Soros around a week or two here and there. Yeah. And I think they moved it up. I can't remember what the hell they did. They were kind of jumping around with the release date after GTA announced their delay. So that all of a sudden started moving around. And so, you know what I mean? So I think we're going to see a little bit more of this, maybe a delay a week, maybe 2 weeks, something like that for other games. God, if Resident Evil gets delayed by even 1 second, we riot. And I mean it. We riot. We burn everything to the ground.
I bet you that game's already ready. They've shown quite a bit.
They're Japanese.
Yeah.
They're Japanese. They don't mess around.
Yeah, they make them work around the clock.
You think they're sitting around taking pictures of their Niçoise salads? They're working. And the Japanese don't play games. They play games, but you know what I'm saying. They're going to get that game out on time. It's already gone gold 100%. They're ready to rock, man. Capcom doesn't mess around. Sorry. Exactly, Decatron. Let's start a riot. We're going to get Limp Bizkit in here. We're going to start throwing my cabinets around. Well, no, maybe not. Maybe that's a bad idea.
Grumpy old fart says with a Canadian $5 super says, Colt, tell Mag I want a refund.
A refund for what?
He says since you're just going to go play Black Ops or Battlefield. Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you.
Oh my God.
That blue number, thank you so much for the $10 super says, I love you equally, but Colt games with me so much more. Or with me more so. Happy New Year, chat. She says, Happy New Year is on the way. It's been a good 2025. It's been interesting. Been really interesting.
It's been a rough year for me, dude. I mean, the channel was like the highlight of my entire year, but the rest of the year was pretty rough, man.
What, like work stuff? Because you had a couple work bumps that you seemed to get over, but
yeah, it's been rough, like personal and like professional.
On your wife,
so it's
your
been
wife
a really rough year.
Had a major.
Oh yeah, dude, the laundry list is like this long, so it's absolutely ridiculous.
But yet you still smile in every video, and sitting here. Stuck with me, you still smile. I don't know how you do it.
Absolutely. But, no, you got to do it, man. You got to dust. I hate to quote the brand. Is it a Brandy song? Dust yourself off and try again, or whatever the hell. You got to keep going, man.
Yeah, yeah.
What does Rocky Balboa say? Get up. What does Mickey say? Get up, you son of a bitch, because Mickey loves you. You got to keep getting up. You can't just stay on the ground. What did I say to the kid? It's not about how hard you hit. It's about how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's right. That's how winning is done. And Tough Newfie in the chat, I saw what you said, even though your comment was deleting. You don't sound like a Tough Newfie to me. You sound like a pussy. So if you don't like the content, then go somewhere else, dude.
Oh, this is excellent content.
He's talking about you and me.
Hey, come on. Those Newfies they're
No, dude. I have nothing but love for Newfies. I have tons of Newfie
Canada's
friends.
Finest.
I have Newfie neighbors. Yeah. They're the best. But this guy sounds like he kissed the cod a little too many times, if you know what I'm saying. Tough Newfie, I'm just messing with you. You don't have to like me, dude, but I'm just messing with you.
Yeah, you don't. You actually, nobody here needs to like Mag, but you must love him.
Oh, no, it wasn't directed at me. It was directed at me and you. He's saying that basically we're frauds and we don't know what we're talking about, and we're talking crap all the time on all our videos, and we don't know what we're talking about.
Hey, I'll tell you what.
Some other horrible things.
When you're covering stuff on podcasts, or you're covering videos or leaks or rumors or reports, like I have videos saying that the consoles are coming out in 2026. And then, I don't know, 6 months later, 3 months later, we're pushing for 2027. I've got thumbnails that say certain things, and then stuff will change, or you're just not right. And you know what? You know what's interesting about that, Mag, is we're sitting here talking about video games, a hobby that takes you away from watching TV or scrolling on Instagram or TikTok to play video games, which are just a form of entertainment. And they are either you enjoy them with friends or you play them by yourself. There should really be no consequence to talking about your favorite video game that you enjoy personally. And sometimes your information isn't perfect. And I bet my videos are probably 70 to 80% correct, and the rest, is completely dead wrong. But that's just how it goes. And I don't care if you're talking about music or you're talking, I could do a music channel right now, and I probably have more knowledge than most people, but I would probably get 70 or 80% things right, and I would have mistakes. No, that album wasn't then. It's just how it goes. Yeah. But we appreciate you, Tough New, for being here and hanging out. And
I know we're just busting your chops, dude.
Yeah, we appreciate you.
I'm busting your chops.
Yeah, we're just busting your chops.
Don't take it too seriously.
It's just sarcasm and satire. He doesn't really believe that. But yeah, we do our best, and we appreciate it because, once in a while people in the chat are like, actually, there was a funny one. When I was with Jez was on the show last week, and I said Ubisoft made a game that was clearly made by Capcom. And I didn't, that's not what I thought. I just stupidly said Ubisoft. And I didn't even realize it, and I had to correct myself. Sometimes you're wrong. It's great.
The other thing is I stopped reporting, I stopped reporting like stuff that I hear. And then I react to it after it's already got out in the wild. And the reason why is, but the thing is, it also gives me an inside track. So if I do find something out months or even a year before it happens, that's good, because then by the time it does come out, I've already got the angle on it. And I did that because it's just not worth it anymore. You know what I mean? And it's not like I'm dropping it. Like, people can still hit me up and ask me questions. I still know stuff that's going on. I still know what's happening. Whether it's video games or whether it's Hollywood stuff. Like I was talking to Boomstick today. Go sub the Boomstick's channel. He's a friend of mine.
Good guy.
Double Barrel Gaming. Go check him out. And anyways, we were talking and earlier, and I was telling him I have a friend, some acquaintances and people I know that have already seen the Supergirl movie. And then so he told me everything about it, all the details, all the spoilers, all that kind of stuff. He also I can't get into details about Doomsday, except for a couple of details here and there, telling me all that kind of stuff. And I know that I could do another channel where I could report all that stuff, but what's the point? Because then if it ends up being a little bit wrong or whatever, people don't go after the source. They go after
never do.
You. They go after you. You're the target, right? And as a result of that, it's stupid. So, I mean, at that point, it's just we started hearing about this delay about these consoles a month ago, right? And then if we talked about it a month ago, everybody would have crucified us. You know what I mean? And then now it's coming out.
I didn't hear about them thinking about delaying the consoles because of the RAM shortage. Ronnie in the chat wanted me to put a poll up.
Yeah.
I don't put polls up often because they can kind of get in the way of the chat, but I'll just talk about it briefly. Ronnie said, "Do you think that games should avoid using AI due to the RAM shortage?"
I see. That's interesting too.
I think what Ronnie's saying is should game developers as a majority avoid using AI to kind of boycott AI usage and slow down what I am about to describe as an overloaded steam train that is not slowing down. If a bunch of prominent studios said we will not use AI, they'd be lying, and because the usage of AI is not what you think it is. The AI is going to be used. I'm going to give a short speech, and then I want to hear from Mag. AI is becoming so ubiquitous in our lives. We are using it occasionally to get answers, to get quick research done, to answer or get details or information, to respond to someone on that's questioning or arguing on the internet. We use it to create fun pictures. We use it to remix our stuff. And people are saying, I don't use it. If you don't, you're flipping through social media, YouTube, or whatever video stuff, and you're occasionally seeing stuff that you laugh at, or stuff that you say, man, that's kind of cool, or stuff that entertains you in some way, even though you know it's AI. What I'm trying to say is AI has become such a big part of our lives that it is going to affect the price of hardware when this bubble expands for a long time. And everyone talks about the bubble bursting. I think the bubble is just going to evolve into what will be the final end game of what we really use AI for. And Elon Musk is probably making the geth right now. But I think it's a never-ending thing, and the only thing that we can do is ride the storm of high prices until we can build bigger infrastructure that supports the AI usage in the world and the hardware and tech that we want to purchase. Somewhere that's going to balance out where everybody's kind of getting what they want from both sides. Meg, that was a lot. I know you have an opinion on this, and people don't like to hear these discussions, but we'll make it brief.
No. I'm not going to turn into a whole monologue because I've been talking about it for a couple of years now. And funny enough that you brought this up, I actually was talking about it with my wife the other day, and I said, honey, I think I'm done telling the community about AI. And the reason why is because I think at this point I've said my piece. I've said everything I've had to say. It's just going to be like me ad nauseum. I'm sure some people think I do that anyway. But the point is that I've sent out my warnings where it's going to go, where I think it's going to go. You all know now. So when things don't work out, and they won't work out for a lot of people, you've been warned. So I'm not going to go down that road again. So, but hey, you know what? If they're going to do what they're going to do, it's entirely up to them how this is going to move forward and what it's going to do to their careers, to their jobs, and everything else. I personally, when it comes to the AI thing, I'm no longer waving a flag and doing this and standing on the front lines to fight against it. I don't really care at this point. However, what I do is, like, for example, when I see all these AI shorts on YouTube, I block them. I start blocking them one by one because. Yeah, I start blocking them one by one because all of a sudden you're going to get inundated with just nonstop AI, like just shovelware, just thrown in your face that someone. Do you feel like together.
Do you feel like you're trying to push a pinky finger into a leaky wall, like about to burst when you do that, though?
No, I'm not. I'm doing that for my own personal algorithms.
I know,
because I'm tired of seeing it, and it's just constant. And I don't think that that's genuine content creation. For example, where you don't have the skill or whatever, and you got some guy who could sit at his PC and literally just crap out 35 videos a day or shorts or whatever, and making all kinds of money off it. Hey, God bless. I'm not telling anybody how to not make their money or how to make their money, but I'm just saying, to me, I'm not going to support it because I think that, like, what we're doing right here, right now, this is going to become eventually, God help us if that happens. This is eventually going to become a dying art form and it is an art form because a lot of people can't just sit down and talk for two to 4 hours and entertain people and have a good conversation, especially like you and I talking, and then of course interacting with the community and everything else like that. AI can't do that. AI can't replicate that. They can try to replicate it, but there's always that. What I always like to say is that there's soul is missing, and it's a soulless thing. So in that respect, utilize it for soulless work, right? If you're going to do it to, like, not soulless work, that's going to come out wrong no matter which way I say it. But for example, if you're going to use it for like the backdrops of a video game, of a landscape or whatever, and then you remove the assets later because you wanted to see what it would look like before putting in all that work, and say, you know what, let's try XYZ and put it in this land or in this village, right? In this medieval village.
I gotta say something, because there is an argument for it as well as against it. Like when you talk about backdrop, like when we watch The Mandalorian or the Fallout TV show, they're using a digital backdrop in real time, a gigantic screen, and artists sit down in Unreal Engine 5 and drop these preset trees that have been made by the software and some direction from. So it's kind of created in the computer. AI will do that in moments at maybe a lower quality, but if you're watching a TV show like Fallout and the backdrop's supposed to be irradiated, destroyed Las Vegas, and AI can construct some of that for you, and the Unreal Engine can do the rest, or it can do a combination of, why do we care? And I think one of the things about AI that's going to be in the games industry is it's going to do procedural stuff, and I don't mean procedural as procedural generated worlds. It's going to be procedural program stuff that normally somebody sits down and goes flip, click, wipe, slip, click all day. And then Matt Booty talked about them using it to AI test games, that once you have a build 1.6 of the game, you set it up in front of a bunch of AI PCs and you have them play test the game, the AI, overnight. You come in the morning and you run the test and it tells you what the results are, and then you go fix all the holes in your code or whatever. Like, that's absolutely going to happen. Another thing that, Meg, I hope you remember, this is, I derailed you, I hope you remember what you're going to say, but I'll say this last thing. Another thing that I'll use is, I do this on my thumbnails, is I'll get a picture that I want in the thumbnail, and I think I've described this on the show before, but here's my thumbnail, and I put this picture down, and it's right here, and I have all this extra space, and I need something behind my title and everything, so I'll have AI in Photoshop look at that background and say, what would be here if this was filled up? And within 30 seconds. Photoshop will go, bang, here's what the rest of that background looks like. And then I'll look at it and go, that works. And it speeds up the process. And Holly was saying something in the chat, like that blue number was saying like it's going to do so much for people. And I think a lot of people rely on it. Even in their jobs, they might, sneak in a little bit AI stuff to kind of speed up their work. So I don't know.
Convenience is not always the best option either. There are two sides to this coin, and like I said, I'm not going to sit on one side or the other. I see you, Xbox is key. The guy's writing essays in the chat about it, and the thing is, at the same time, and I understand the use of it, and if there's some form of harmony there where you can actually utilize it for, with human use and of course with AI, and then find some kind of symbionts where you could work together, and then it could, elevate your project or elevate the work that we do moving forward. Absolutely. However, you have to stop thinking like a worker when it comes to this and start thinking like a CEO. And a CEO doesn't even look at people like humans. You're just pawns on a chessboard, and you're not even a pawn. They don't even know your name. You're a number in the company in the database. And
your
what's going to
manager
happen
doesn't
is
care.
eventually,
The manager doesn't care how I have to put something together in Adobe Creative, whatever project. And my boss will do this sometimes. She's like, well, we have to do this and this and this and this. And I'm sitting in the meeting going, they don't care about the process we have to go through. They want to know, will it be ready by Tuesday? And
absolutely, they want results.
Yeah.
But you know what the danger is? And this is all I'm trying to say. And I see a lot of people in the chat, a lot of maggots out there actually saying that they utilize AI to make their work more efficient. Hey, that's great. But I'm just saying there is a possibility out there that one day, and that's why they're investing so much money in this, is that one day they're going to utilize it for something a lot more nefarious. That's all I'm trying to say. Because I think it'll get to a point where it learns and continues to learn, and then you know what you just did? You just trained someone to take your job. It's like you're at work and they're like, hi, this is Colteastwood. He's going to be training with you. Can you please show him how to do it? Oh, by the way, and as soon as he's good enough, you're fired.
You could do that with a real employee. You
Absolutely,
could do that.
You could.
I could have done that. I had a guy working with me that was brand new, and I tried to teach him everything I knew. And I thought, what if one day he just gets way better and they start giving him all the stuff? Yeah, a human could do that. But let me grab these supers that are actually on point, on topic.
Sure.
Real quick, Will M. Eula says, thank you for the $2 super. He goes, watching Ecstasy on one TV and Howard the Duck on the other. Now,
Well.
Howard the Duck. Nobody says, tell Mag I finished Ghost of Tsushima. Great game.
Hey, good awesome for you, dude.
I love it.
It is a great game. I got goosebumps playing the last scene of that game, man.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
The final level and the whole the family dynamic. I won't get into it for anybody who didn't play it, but my goodness.
Yeah, it's worth playing for sure. I think it's one of PlayStation's best games that generation, next to Spider-Man. That's my opinion, though. Danny Passion, thanks for the 2, says, AI can't give you talent if you don't have it. Well, and I'm an artist, and AI creates stuff way better than I can. So as an artist, I look at stuff that AI's created. I'm like, dang, that's really super impressive. Really, really super impressive. But the soul is missing.
So you know what the thing is, Colt? I'm not going to go in a conversation. I'm just going to say one thing. If the AI is doing better work than, let's say, whoever, right? Fill in the blank. How are you going to get better at what you're doing if you're not elevating yourself?
Yeah.
How do you bring yourself to that next level? How do you get from like a high school football player to the NFL? You don't get, you know what I mean? Like you have to do it yourself. And as a result of that makes your craft and you better at it, as opposed to something going, well, here, I could just do it for you in 0.08 nanoseconds and just do it for you. And everybody goes, oh, cool, done. You're not elevating yourself as a human being, and you're not challenging yourself as a human being. It can be very helpful for a lot of different things, and that's wonderful, but I think that it should be utilized sparingly as a result of that, because what ends up happening is you're stunting human progression. That's all I'm trying to say, because you're not pushing yourself forward if this thing is doing it for you.
What if AI was in control of, when I say control, what if AI was responsible for speeding up a good 25% of the workflow that makes a game take 6 years and changes that to like 3 to 4? We talked about that a bunch of times on this show, right? Like, we're all for that. Like, games have taken so long because the tech demands hyper photorealism, and it takes so much time to make that a reality. I guess it doesn't really demand it. Some of the best games don't look photorealistic, but
True. Sotna said something interesting in the chat. He says, eventually people won't even learn to think. Dude, that's already happening now with the invention of calculators and then computers and smartphones and everything else. People can't even spell anymore because the phone does it for you. And so get somebody to write something on a blackboard, a sentence. A grown-ass adult can't even spell. They have no grammar.
I spelled unfortunately wrong in the chat like 10 minutes ago, and it didn't autocorrect. I said, "Oh, to hell with it."
I'm just
the other problem. You ever see this on like social media? Someone's like, "This is the report. This is happening. This is probably what's going to be the outcome." And someone will say, "Hey Grok, what does this mean?" Or, "Hey Grok, is this true?" And for those of you who don't know what that means, Grok is just an AI part of Twitter. So I'll see it a lot on Twitter where people would just, in the comments, instead of looking it up, they'll just say, "Hey Grok, explain this." Or, "Hey Grok, what is this?" Because we don't have to go to another tab and Google search it and let the computer tell us what it is. We have to let the computer just do all of the work for us. So I don't know. When it comes to gaming, you and I are probably on a different spectrum to where I would like to see AI take control of some of the wasted time that is happening in the games development world. And as an artist or as a musician, like you can understand this too, Mag, you're a musician as much as I am, or if not more, that the drum machine, everything that automates making music has made incredible songs that people have loved forever. Like if you're a fan of Madonna or Whitney Houston in the late 80s, mid to late 80s, like their best songs were all drum machines and keyboard programming that did like 80% of the music. And then she had these great lyrics and vocals over them. So, and that was like in vogue. People liked that sound. The sound was amazing. And then eventually, they wanted something different. Right now, maybe, I don't love AI, but it's really popular right now. And you can't deny that people are absolutely drooling over posts with AI generated stuff. My friend Gaz Septic Sauce put out a tweet like a few days ago. Your tweets usually get, a few hundred likes or whatever. He took this AI video from Instagram that he screen recorded of two fat ladies riding a pig on a highway and crashing into cars. It was just this obnoxious thing that someone made in AI. He recorded that and put it on Twitter and said, "This is why RAM prices are so expensive." And that post has over 70,000 likes. Probably because of the satire of what's going on with RAM, but also how hilariously ridiculous AI has become and how entertaining it is. It's crazy.
The thing is, and I'll end it with this. Okay. All I'm saying is this, and this is where people get all crazy. Like I see some people in the chat are like, "Well, why don't we dig with spoons instead of shovels when they were invented?" I saw what you said. You know what I mean? Like you're taking it too far. Only a Sith deals in absolutes. And what I'm trying to say is a happy medium is what you should be looking for. But the problem is with this massive, very sudden investment in it means they're not going to be a happy medium. It's going to be a tidal wave that washes things away, because you do not do, if you do it in small increments as we have been doing for decades, just like you said with the invention of the drum machine and everything else, it did not take away from the artistry of the music and all that kind of stuff. But the problem is when you're watching, if you're watching with your two eyes that are attached to your skull, and you can see that every company on earth, the fact that there is a massive shortage across the planet as there's basically an AI arms race happening, this is alarming, people. And that's all I'm trying to say. I'm not trying to say it's bad. I'm not saying it's evil. I'm not saying it's any of that stuff. But you have to take these things in smaller doses. But what you're watching happen is not going to happen in small doses. They are investing tens of billions, hundreds of billions of dollars if you add up all the different companies.
They're going to overdo it first, is what you're saying.
You're absolutely right. And they're going to tip the scales in the wrong direction. Oh, Linda Ray, thank you so much, man. You're amazing. Linda Ray in the chat says, "You guys suck ass." Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And listen, thank you for the view.
Meg, that's my mom in the chat.
It's your mom.
Linda's
okay, well,
mom.
hi, Mrs. Eastwood. She also says, "Y'all suck." Okay, and you know what, dude? If you actually weren't using AI, you would have spelled y'all properly. It's Y''ALL and then SUCK. So, as you can see, this, ladies and gentlemen, is the shining example of the lack of education that I was just talking about of people who can't spell and utilize grammar. Linda Ray, you win the award. I'm assuming you're not a woman. You're probably a dude with a wig and a beard. But either way,
I need a
Why
wig.
don't you go join Tough Newfie and maybe you guys can go out bowling one night?
Meg, I don't see this person at all. Are you making this up?
No, I unhid the comments. They were right there in the chat.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't see it, but that's funny. My my brother texted me on Christmas Day. My brothers and my mom all live in a separate state, and they're hanging out at Christmas without me. And my youngest brother goes, "Hey, mom said she doesn't watch your podcast. She doesn't find it interesting, but she watches the other brothers' podcast. My older brother has a music podcast on Spotify that I really love. I listen to it it comes out every 2 weeks. And I was like, I listen to that, but I don't like his because it's about video games and I know nothing about video games. And I said, Mom, if you watch the show, you'll learn everything there is to know and you'll get a crush on Mag. And then
well, that's lovely. And
so
well, we're almost
Lindsay
the same
shows
age
up
anyway,
or whoever
so.
it is. Yeah.
Yeah, we're pretty much the same age. My parents listen to Magcast, and they have no idea what the hell's going on. I think the last video game my dad played was Arkanoid. So
don't you feel weird when your
to...
parents watch your stuff because you're like in the weeds and you're getting passionate about things that they're probably like don't think even matter in the real world?
The funny thing is, my parents said one thing, and I know it's my parents, so it's not really a good litmus test, but they're like, it really doesn't matter what you're talking about. It's just that you're interesting to listen to. And it's like you just have this sort of magnetic thing that's like when you're talking, people just kind of, pay attention. It doesn't matter what you're saying. Well, I mean, for the people that like me anyway. Actually, even the people that don't like me. Clearly, there's people who don't like us who are in the chat right now. I mean, that's fantastic.
I can literally say whatever I want about my mom because she doesn't watch and I won't get in trouble for it. So how about for the next 7 minutes, I go on a tirade about what I don't like about me. No, I'm just kidding. I tried to show her when I interviewed Jason Ronald on my channel on camera and everything.
Was she like, is that Gandalf?
She didn't even look. Fool of a toque. Yeah, she wouldn't even look. I'm like,
Fool of a toque.
That's fine. I'm like, yeah. Tegatron goes, go careful, Colt. Mag's going to tell your mom what you said when they're out on their next date at the old soda fountain. But I came to the realization that my target audience of this podcast with Mag and I, our target audience is probably not a 79-year-old woman, but it's probably a 76-year-old man. And we appreciate you.
Hey, that's all good.
Yeah.
And Linda Ray, of course.
Yeah, and Linda. Shout out to Linda. Thank you for covering the AI thing. Let me redo this timestamp because I went on a tirade. I want to talk briefly about how hey, what's up, Doof? Merry Christmas, bro. I want to talk about Xbox was far and away the most covered gaming company in the entirety of 2025, which was funny because this journalist posted this as Nintendo being the top covered gaming company in all of 2025, when it was clear that Xbox plus Microsoft Gaming and Activision Blizzard, which were all listed in the bottom, their total combined number of reports throughout the year far exceeded Nintendo and PlayStation and Ubisoft and EA. But everyone's like, what kind of flex is that? Because most of the news was negative. Well, I used AI on this one. I asked AI, I said, what is the ratio of positive Xbox to negative Xbox news in the games media over 2025? And it had a cite and said that it was 50-50 negative. It said it's been a very tumultuous year for Xbox. Half of it has been negative and half of it has been positive. Because remember, Xbox had we're going to cover this later in the show about 2025. We're going to kind of gloss over everything that happened. But Xbox had this horrible beginning of the year with closures and layoffs and cancellation in this. And then they had the hardware announcement, which really bolstered up. And they had 12 games released this year, and one of them was the highest sold game on other platforms. So it was funny that people are like, what kind of flex is that? When I also asked about Nintendo, which was number 2. Nintendo was the number 2 most talked about. They also said Nintendo was about half and half. Good news, bad news, because remember Nintendo put out the Switch 2, and they also had the Switch 2 was bad news. You know, the price was expensive. The features didn't seem that great. The games were really expensive. And Nintendo had a pretty polarizing news cycle as well. But for a dead platform that's Xbox, they sure talk about it all the time. Yeah, I don't know. I just thought that was interesting. They're trying to flex Nintendo in the tweet, and the numbers were right there that Xbox was actually the one that's always been, like, everyone's always talking about Xbox, but Mag, I want to hear your opinion about this.
Sure.
Because instead of you've given your opinion about that, I want to ask your opinion about Alex Battaglia and even Windows Central kind of hinting that Xbox traffic is down, and Digital Foundry said, we're not even sure if it's worth taking the time to cover the tech of Xbox games when the traffic isn't there. Did you cover this in a video, I think, didn't you?
No. I didn't cover it in a video. I was just watching from a distance, but I did watch that. I started doing videos again today, yeah, I did watch the whole situation. I watched it go down. Yeah,
I imagined one of your thumbnails of it. Like, I totally pictured your thumbnail covering this for some reason.
Well, I mean, the thing is, you look at it, you're sure there's positive news. And now the thing is, if you want to look at the positive news, the reason why you're going to get positive news is because you have an Xbox community. That's one. You've got an Xbox community on PC. That's two. And you're selling you're selling games third party. That's three. So if you have good games that are even going elsewhere, even it gets covered by PlayStation as well, for example, right? So if you actually go to the PlayStation YouTube channel, for example, when throughout this year, any games that were from Xbox that came over there, they were advertising it, right? So that drums up even more, a conversation about the brand. Now, that's why I said a long time ago when we first started talking about Project Latitude, that it was so important at this point that if they're making that move, which they've made the move, that it is so imperatively important that they release quality titles, because if it's bad on Xbox, let's say if the game that they release for Xbox is bad, it's going to be bad everywhere now, because now you're releasing it everywhere, right? Some games on the Switch, all the games on PlayStation, PC, and of course Xbox, right? And Steam, all right? The games are on Steam as well, which you have a monster amount of people, on that ecosystem. So if you look at it from that respect, you have to say, okay, well, we have to make quality here. So if you have a game that does well or rates well and whatever else, you're going to have a ton of positive press everywhere, as opposed to just behind that walled garden of what used to be the Xbox ecosystem and whatever. So there's that. And that's a good thing. That's a great thing, as long as you got the quality games there. For example, like we got South of Midnight coming out on PlayStation, I think in the spring. Is it in March, something like that? It's coming out over there. So
coming out
I thought
soon.
it was, and it's funny. It's sort of getting, and I've noticed this in the community.
I did
it's
too.
It's sort of growing. Did you know that it's sort of growing like a cult following? And
like people are starting to openly be more positive about it, even though I have major issues with stuff they could iron out.
And I've been positive about it from day one.
Yeah.
I said, and I don't care if anybody thinks it's a hot take, it's just my take. But I said it was the best released Xbox game of 2025. I loved it.
That's crazy.
And as a result of it, I've been saying that from the day it came out. I'm like, this game is fun. I love it. It's really good. I really enjoy the game, and I love all the aspects about it. And so when it gets over there on PlayStation, if they do the proper marketing, I think it could do very well over there. So you've got all this positive press in that way. Now, where you get into the negative side of things, we have to talk about that too, because there's a ton of that too. Let's also not forget that Microsoft had the Red Wedding in the summer, right? Where they killed off those two games.
Is that a saying?
Red Wedding from
I
Game
don't
of
know
Thrones.
that saying.
Oh, you don't know that? It was, what's it called? The Red Wedding from Game of Thrones, where they like literally murder everybody in the one room and they're all like killing each other and stuff. Anyways, that was basically the Red Wedding for Microsoft of 2025. Let's also not forget that happened. They canceled the two games there, and then they fired like 10,000 or however many people. I can't remember off the top of my head anymore how many people. You remember that whole thing? And then the price hikes, the console hikes, twice went up. Game Pass went up again, and then there was tons of negative press there too, right? So they're always in the news cycle because they're always doing something, whether it's positive or stepping on rakes. It's every 3 bloody days. And you know what? I got to say, for the content creators out there, probably rubbing their hands going, hey, Xbox, please don't stop. Whether it's positive or negative, just keep going, because we just got so much material for videos. Just keep going, man. You're helping us out here, because PlayStation and Nintendo don't say squat. If it was up to those two, there would be nothing to talk about. because Sony and Nintendo don't say much of anything. Steam, they do. Look at the Steam machine. We don't even know what the hell's going on with this thing. What happened to Half-Life 3? We don't even know what's going on there. Steam hasn't said a peep. But if that was Microsoft, they'd be out there every 3 days, either for good or ill, as Gandalf would say. They'd be saying something. And you know how many times did we see this year the gif of Sideshow Bob getting the rake in the face, right? So time. We saw that a lot too. So if you actually look at the seesaw, you have a lot of positive for Xbox and a lot of negative for Xbox. Put it together, of course they're the most talked about, but they always are. Lovers and haters of the console, or people just in the middle, either criticizing or praising. There's a ton of stuff going on out there, so it's always going to be in the conversation one way or another. That has not translated to hardware sales per se, but I mean, it certainly keeps them in the conversation. That's
I think Xbox.
So it's
really
been a wild 25, man.
Yeah, it has, and Xbox is really important to the games industry. Like they're very pinnacle, and I should have taken the time. I kept meaning to read Xbox Era's article. They basically said that the death of Xbox has been greatly exaggerated. It's kind of like what their article was.
Sorry,
implying.
Who said that? Oh, I saw
Xbox
that. I saw that.
Era. Yeah, I haven't read it, and I need to write it because they basically were breaking down why people, just assume Xbox is dead, and it's just not even a reality whatsoever. And we've talked about it a lot on the show. In 2024, it was August of 2024, so a little over a year ago. Xbox was like, it was bona fide multi-platform. They're going to start putting their major tentpole titles on PlayStation. And you'd think that my channel, being so Xbox focused, would have died out. But when I looked at I'm doing my year in review for content on the podcast and YouTube on videos. I already told you guys a couple weeks ago or last week that our growth and viewership was up like 800 or 900% on the Spotify and Wrapped. And I'm like, wow, that's kind of crazy. But my views on YouTube are 50% higher than last year. And the consoles aren't selling. Like Xbox is supposed to be dead. But I think what people don't realize, Mag, is that Xbox has become so widespread and they've garnered so many new actual gaming fans. Like there's the social media people, then there's the games media that hates that they have to cover Xbox. This is going to sound kind of insulting to the games media, but some of them kind of seem to appear like it's a burden on them that they have to cover this Xbox brand when they'd rather just cover PlayStation and Nintendo and PC. Now they have this fourth one that's been around forever. It just keeps kind of adding into their obligation. And I understand covering more content can be a pain in the butt. But I think the reality is when you get outside the ridiculous discussion of Xbox dead, no one wants this, no one plays that. The reality is that Xbox has probably seen some great growth, and the thumbnail of this podcast says that the consoles are being delayed, and I don't know. Meg, you set it up really well earlier in the show, and you said we don't. And in your video, I was listening to your video an hour before the show. You said in Mag's video, go watch it after this. He said that the consoles aren't really supposed to come out for about 2 years, so they may be able to ride out the storm. Like it's not time right now to say we're going to delay the consoles to 2028 or 2029. The answer is, we have an entire year before we start production. That's when we make our decision. And nobody said that.
They're just projecting at this point. Well, they're projecting at this point. We'll talk about that subject a little bit later, I'm sure. We'll get into more detail. But, Moore's Law is dead said the same thing this morning. And he was saying, actually, seeing that this thing is 2 years away, the ship may right itself by then, but we're not 100% sure yet. So at this point, this is all just projection coming from the two companies because that's what they have to do. They have to make projections as to what's happening. Like we've said it a million times, they don't project till next week. You know what I mean? They're like, all right, guys, what's going on in 6 days from now? No, they want to know what's going on 2 years from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now. When the CEO sits down, they're like, all right, what are we looking at for the next quarter century? I need a game plan for the next 25 years or whatever. And that's how these corporations work. And as a result of that, we don't really know how this is going to work out in the next little while. Now, this did come as a bit of a surprise, and this ties into the AI situation. And that's why I say in the AI situation, whether you fear it or love it, I'm just saying keep your peepers open because they did this in such a sudden fashion that there's going to tip the scales all the way in one direction far too fast, and it took even these tech companies by surprise. The fact that they weren't even prepared for it, they had no idea this was coming, that means that that's a dangerous precedent being set forward. But anyways, we'll get into that later. But what I was going to say about the Xbox thing, and I've said it a million times in this channel and on my own channel, the ecosystem itself is not going to go anywhere. It's got a dedicated fan base. It's never going to be as big as PlayStation. It's never going to reach the heights of Nintendo. It's going to make a lot of money and continue to do so. And how they decide to make that money is entirely up to them. If they do now that they're doing the third party, you make billions of dollars elsewhere, right? By spreading it out across all the ecosystems. Fine. So now you're a major publisher or whatever. At the same time, you could still cater to the smaller Xbox community that is out there. I know that sounds very demeaning. I don't mean it to sound demeaning. I'm just saying it's a smaller community, but it's still going to feed its purpose. And as a result of that, that will always be nurtured because they're able to pull finances from their other business ventures in the video game industry. For example, once again, I said publishing being another one. And as a result of that, those Xbox gamers will continue to be cared for. And I know it sounds like, oh, they're being coddled and cared for, but you know what I mean. You could say the hardware, it's not dead, but it's not doing well. That's fair to say. If you barely sell 30 million consoles, that's not good. That's Wii U levels bad. But it's fine. It's still got 30 million people tuning in, and that doesn't include Xbox One people. I mean, so you can talk say 45 to 60 million. You
say Wii U levels bad, but Nintendo, if they don't sell consoles, they die. So if the Nintendo Switch 2 flopped and no one was buying it, Nintendo would be scrambling to make a conventional console. Like they would be racing. They do a 3-year turnaround and come out with the GameCube 2 or something. Yeah. Xbox doesn't live in that world, and they've proven it they've learned and proven that for 10 years, that when their console doesn't sell, they have many other avenues to survive. Game Pass is a result of that, and being on PC and maybe multi-platform. Like, they're making a ton of money. I don't care what money they make.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Just glad we have games.
That's what I'm saying. I want to come back. In one way or another, it caters to that. Like those other business ventures that they opened up to caters to the fact that if they do not sell what the competition is selling, then they have other avenues in order to make billions of dollars. Let's not lie to ourselves. They're making billions of dollars. At the end of the day, it doesn't really make a difference.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Dead Meat, I see in the chat. That's not what I mean. Like who else said it? Oh, and Machine. That? I said, no, come on. Wii U sold 13 million. Yeah, I understand that. I was saying in reference to what's happening now with the other consoles, as like, for example, PlayStation is coming up on 100 million and you're still sitting at 30. I'm just saying, in comparatively speaking, I'm not saying exact numbers like the Wii U. The Wii U was a disaster, but I'm saying comparative to what PlayStation is doing. Now, that's just console sales at the end of the day. And no, it's not some kind of cope or something like that. It just is what it is. And they will still find ways to continue to move forward, and the business is not going to go anywhere. And if they don't, next generation, whenever that does happen, I know we're going to talk about it, but if they sell, let's say 15 million Project Mags, right? Next generation, it doesn't matter. Because at that point, they're still going to be making billions elsewhere. They still got the PC support, you got the Steam support, PlayStation support, Switch 2 support, and of course, a much smaller Xbox, like actual dedicated Xbox box console community, right?
Yeah.
And so you've got all that, so it's multiple facets. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, it is. And thankfully they have that. Otherwise, I think they would be screwed. And I want to get into the weeds about the next generation console, the price point, and the opinions on delaying next generation in just a moment. But before we do that, I want to get into one of the videos I put out this morning, and I've got King Fanman here in the chat who is anxious to talk about this because I listened to his podcast recorded video on Sunday afternoon, which really inspired me to cover this Elder Scrolls thing. But before I do that, I'm going to read a couple supers, and I want to talk about Elder Scrolls 6 leaks because people are there's some pretty crazy takes on these leaks, and I want to get into those. Before we do, we've got Seth Monsters. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. Says, my wife is a writer. She can't draw, but I showed her how to turn her written talent into imagery, and that is an evolution elevation of the art form. Yeah, Seth, I love to draw. I've spent my whole entire life cultivating my illustration skills. I took some of my drawings and put them into AI and had AI animate them, and I was filled with wonder. I can learn to do that. I could have taken time to do that. I never have. But seeing my creation come to life with AI, something I physically sat here and drew with a pen, brought into the computer, cleaned it up, colored it. And I had this drawing of my brother-in-law and I playing PlayStation when we were younger. And I just dropped it to AI and I just hit the button and it just looked at it and said, here's what I think they're going to do. And it had me like cheering, and he was using the controller and looking at me and smiling, and it just came to life. And as an artist, I think that's magical, even though it seems kind of scary. Danny Passion, thanks for the 5, says, you see it because you have talent. A person without talent won't recognize it. He said, I'm an artist and as well as a cinematographer. I see AI camera being awesome. That's such a controversial take that we both have. I feel like I can say it because I'm a creative, that when I see AI make something, I can understand how impressive it is. But I also know that it could take a job away from me. I have a message from somebody I haven't even replied to because I don't do profile pictures and design anymore for people on the side. But he asked me to do his profile picture, and I thought, gosh, AI could do it for him for free in 40 seconds. Do I want to do that? Do I want to take the time and build him this thing? He would love to have it and then charge him for it and take that time out of my time. These are the questions we have. Pushing Polygons. Thank you so much for the $5 super. Says, Happy New Year's. Yeah, Eastwood maggots. Don't worry about the RAM. It'll be fine, Colt. Thinking no Elder Scrolls reveal before the showcase. He's thinking, all right, let's talk about Elder Scrolls 6 reveal, Mag. I'll take the pilot seat here again for a minute. Sure. About 6 days ago, Reddit's Leaks and Rumors, which does not allow leaks to sit on their forum very long unless they feel like there's some sort of validity to it. Today, I have not gone through my comments. My video is doing pretty well, but I'm pretty sure there's about 50 people calling me a liar, a clickbaiter, a fraud. I don't know what I'm talking about, but shout out to King Fan Man. Hope you're still here in the chat. We're finally talking about Elder Scrolls. They said these rumors are very reminiscent of the Fallout 4 rumors 10 years ago that were so specific and ended up becoming nearly completely true on every facet of what the story beats would be. So there's no story beat reveals for Elder Scrolls, but they said there's going to be settlement building. You can actually build your own castle and fortress. Because back 15 years ago, you could build a little medieval hut, house, lodge, but now you can do a whole fortress thing. They also have the ability to, like Starfield, you can create your own wooden battleships, like pirate ships. So you're going to be in the northern part of the map, Mag, and I covered this in the video. The northern part of the Tamriel map, it has this high coastal area at the top, like you'd see up in, in northern Europe. And so you have this waterway. And so you could build your own ship and go out on the high seas and fight other ships a la Assassin's Creed Black Flag. And that really excites me if they rip off something that everybody loves and throw it into an Elder Scrolls game. Some of the other things were, I heard from separate from this Reddit's Leaks and Rumors, that the next Elder Scrolls is really brutally violent and bloody with dismemberment and slicing and blood, something that was missing from Starfield, but was all in Fallout 4. So the combat seems to be pretty good. Another really cool bit from this Starfield leak is that, or of the Elder Scrolls leak, is that Starfield right now is overhauling the creation engine to remove a chunk of the loading screens from traversal and stuff like that. And they're already building this in right now for Elder Scrolls 6, where if you go into interiors of buildings, shops, or go into cities, you open the gate and just walk in. You're not looking at a loading screen. So sounds like they're overhauling the creation engine. It's a lot to say. They're overhauling the creation engine so that they can not compartmentalize everything. Because the old style Back in the 2010s era of making video games, you made this open world, and then any interior was its own little box that was separately loaded in, and you're inside there and you can't see out the windows. And Bethesda's been relying on that design criteria and philosophy for a long time, and now they're pushing beyond that and making the engine allow you to only see a loading screen when you fast travel across the map. At least that's what they're saying. So these are really good things. The most controversial bit of this report, and King Fanman and his co-hosts were talking about this, was that it sounds like it's very possible that Todd Howard wants to reveal Elder Scrolls 6 at the June showcase in 2026. And that Todd Howard's method is, I don't want to show this game and put it out in a year. He wants to show this game and have it ready for release, which leads me to believe, which is horrible timing, that Todd Howard says, I want to show this game in June. This is speculation. And I want the game to come out by November, December of 2026. Like, you see it in the summer, you're playing it this fall, but you're also up against Grand Theft Auto 6. But I'll tell you what, that may sound idiotic, but Elder Scrolls 6 is quite large compared to Grand Theft Auto 6. It's not as big whatsoever, but when you're talking about Elder Scrolls 6 release, Mag, that is not a release that people are like, I'm busy playing Grand Theft Auto 6. That's one where people are like, oh my gosh, I now have my hands full because I have to have both of them. That's a lot to cover, but a lot of people are thinking it's bull crap. People are like, there's no way. A lot of people I was talking to was like, that game is 2027, at the end of 2027, earliest at the end of 2028. That's not what people are saying right now. And the other thing, before I give you the reins,
it's all good,
is that the last thing of the showcase this past June, Elder Scrolls 6 was supposed to be the last thing, but it wasn't ready. So they put Call of Duty in its place. So if they were ready to show it in June, they dang well are ready to show it next June. And if they were ready to show it in June of 2025, when did you expect them to put the game out? Maybe 2026? I think that's still a reality. Mag, that's a lot to digest. It's all yours.
I don't see it coming out in 26. It doesn't make any sense. I don't think it's ready. I know. Never mind. I'm not going to say that. But no, there's some people playtesting some stuff. But anyway, the thing is, I don't think it's ready for this year. And then on top of that, we're gonna have the same conversation. Where the hell are you gonna put it? I understand that it can stand on its own.
I'm talking 12 months from now. 12 months from now. Okay, 11 to 12 months from now.
You're talking about like late December 2026?
Late November, or you got to get out of the way. Call of Duty, or
Call of Duty. GTA 6 drops November 21st.
Yeah,
and I understand Skyrim sold 60 million plus copies. It's no slouch, obviously. It's a monster IP, but why would you do that? And then you still got Call of Duty. I'm just talking about from an Xbox perspective, okay? Never mind that. You still got Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4. You've got GTA 6. You've got Gears E-Day. You've got, Forza's going to be in the spring. It's not official, but, we all kind of know. It's like the worst kept secret in the world that it's going to release, in the spring proper. Where the hell do you put this? And then, of course, they've got some third-party things going on, right? We got a couple things going on at the Developer Direct that they're going to talk about in a few weeks. So there's that too. Where do you put, and then where the hell is Fable on top of that?
Right. Yeah. Where is Fable?
Where's Fable
like
in
Fable's
all of
getting
this,
pushed.
right? So,
I feel like Fable
is getting pushed. It's not coming out this year, and I don't think Elder Scrolls. Listen, I would be very pleasantly surprised if it did. I'm all for it. I'll be there day one playing Elder Scrolls. I love Elder Scrolls. I'm be there day one to play the game. However, I just don't see it happening.
Do you think people get burned too much?
There's no realistic world. It's out this year.
Do you think people get burned so much there's no way they're going to get excited about the prospect of playing Elder Scrolls at the end of 2026? Like, they're like, I just feel like people's attitudes like, there's no way. It's not happening. I'm like, why can't you just be excited about the idea? Like, when a game gets delayed, you're like, but I took off 2 weeks of vacation and now I have to burn it playing Fallout 76. I don't know. I like to get excited.
And I think it's fun. I think it's a fun idea. I'd be like, yeah, dude, drop it in December. Great. I'll be there. I'll be playing that. It's a great winter game too, right? Snug inside the house while it's snowing outside.
That would suck. That would suck, though, Meg. Meg, you can make a good point. Like, November 21st, we're just like barely scratching the surface of how much we love Grand Theft Auto 6. And then, 3 or 4 weeks later, Elder Scrolls 6
You're going to drop a juggernaut like that?
Yeah.
I don't see you.
I mean,
don't
you
see
buy
them doing
it.
And on top of, well, of course you buy it. I would buy it. I'm going to buy the game anyway. So, but the thing is, you look at a situation like, because I want the book. I like they always come with a nice little book and stuff. Like Skyrim had like a nice little storybook and stuff, and the map, and I love that. I got that Skyrim
little dismembered
edition
hand in a little pouch.
But like, you also have to look at like, I mean, I know Game Pass is not their focus anymore. I understand that. However, you still have to think about that, and you still have to think, well, we can't just dump all these AAA games in 3 months. And then just be like, yeah, we'll just see how it goes. Like, it's not like they have to space these things out to keep people subscribed for longer periods of time. It's still a focus. It's not their number one focus, but it is still a focus. And as a result of that, I can't see them dumping 4 gigantic games in the midst of GTA 6 in the fall of 2026. I
think Gears E-Day comes out sooner than we would have speculated.
I would love that too.
I think Gears E-Day probably comes out like, I don't know, like August or something, or September. Because when GTA 5 came out, we didn't actually see real gameplay outside of that 23 seconds of Kate stabbing the worm and then walking in the kitchen. I used it so many times in videos, waiting to actually see what Gears 5 would look like. If my memory serves me, we saw the gameplay trailer that showed more at the June showcase, and the game came out that fall, right? Anybody with a really great memory, let me know. I was at the June showcase in LA in 2019, and I think that's when we got actual eyes on more than a few seconds of gameplay. And then the game came out September or October or something. I'm waiting for someone to say in the chat they remember. I reviewed the game. I had it, 10 days before it came out. And so I hope the Gears E-Day is at the developer direct, and it probably will be.
It will. I think it will be. Yeah, I think that's one of the games.
We could look at not actually seeing what Gears E-Day looks like until June, and then it comes out like
really? You don't
5
think
months
so?
later, 4 months later. Maybe. I think it's going to be.
I think they show. I think they show gameplay. I think they show proper gameplay. I think they're going to do a little story beat
at Dev Direct.
I think they'll show a little bit of. Yeah, I think they'll show a little gameplay there. I'm not saying it's going to be at the direct. I'm just hoping it is. But if it is, then I think that it'll be shown there, like some gameplay, and then they'll go in more detail in June, and then release it whenever they decide to release it. But by the way, you also have to think. I know it seems like almost like a side piece, but we also have to think about Halo Campaign Evolved. Is it? You know what I mean? Halo Campaign Evolved is also coming out in November. Excuse me, it's not coming out in November, but that's our speculation because the 25th
What's the
anniversary
Halo
of Xbox is in November.
Combat Evolved release date? Is it, you guys probably remember off the top of your head? November
Combat
15th.
Evolved or Campaign
Dude,
Evolved?
can you imagine Halo Campaign Evolved coming out 1 week before GTA 6? I could totally see Xbox doing that. The other weird thing was, you said that they don't focus as much on Game Pass. I think they do focus a ton on Game Pass. When you've got Grand Theft Auto.
They do.
When you've got Grand Theft Auto coming out.
Focus.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
I don't know. That's what I hear over there. They tell me that their focus is on the ecosystem and publishing.
Oh, okay.
That's where they're pushed more. Their focus on whatever.
Yeah, I stand corrected.
So anyway, sorry. Carry on.
I don't know how this works with Campaign Evolved, but everybody's different. There are actually people. They're psychopaths who are like, I don't care about GTA, right? Like I'm really excited about that, but
yeah, big time.
You can give. I'm looking at the date right now. When I look down here, you can give PlayStation and other fans an entire week to play Campaign Evolved when it launches, and then turn around and sell them Grand Theft Auto 6 on the PlayStation 5 and still do really well. I don't know if they're going to do this, but if you got Halo Campaign Evolved coming out a week before Grand Theft Auto, and everyone knows that's release date, there would be a good chunk of PlayStation fans who are like, I'm buying this Halo game right now, and I'm going to play it all week because it's an 8-hour campaign. I'm going to play through the Halo campaign, and then when I'm done, Grand Theft Auto will be out, and I will love every minute of it. And they'll do that. So that's a possibility. But
yeah,
when you've got Elder Scrolls 6, let's say it's supposed to release on like December 12th, 2026. I'm just, a date like that, like 3 weeks later, there are going to be a chunk of people who are like, this is on my Game Pass on PC and Xbox. The other rumor, Mag, is that on this leaks and rumor thing is that right now Elder Scrolls 6 is a timed exclusive to Xbox and PC and Game Pass. And that they are planning to put out the PS5 version of Elder Scrolls 6 3 to 6 months later. What do you think about that?
I don't believe that. I don't believe that. They would never do that. That would be ridiculous. It's always been a third party release. It's always been a multi-platform release up to this point. And to release a game of that magnitude and that size and not release it on PlayStation day one, I don't see that. That's a bad business decision.
I'm gonna
I think AI came up with that rumor.
Shout out to almost 500 people watching. I'm going to ask Destin in the chat, excellent content creator, covers everything, a lot of Xbox-focused stuff and PC and Nintendo and everything. I want to ask his opinion.
Evening,
this is just this comes from the rumor, but it's being reported that Elder Scrolls 6 is not being built on the PS5 yet, that they're going to have a staggered release. I don't think it makes sense to do this.
No.
It would boost a certain amount of Game Pass subscribers, but I haven't seen Xbox's first-party games really significantly boost Game Pass subscribers. Even Expedition 33, I don't think spiked Game Pass subscriptions. Destin, what's your thoughts? Do you think that's a possibility, or are you giving us a no way in the chat? Let us know what you think about the possibility.
Yeah. I don't see that. That'd be a absolute. That would be a piss poor business decision to lock out.
What would that do?
100 million consoles at that point. I mean, at that point it'll be 100 million easily because GTA 6 will sell a chunk, right?
What would that do in your opinion?
Progresses
when you've got 65 million PS5 owners and they're like, one of the biggest games of the generation is not coming to my console. I'll just play it next year. What do you think would happen?
That it would diminish. I think it would diminish the impact of the game, because at that point you're getting something released later on. We've seen that happen over and over and over again, except for one exception. Helldivers 2 was the only exception I've seen of a delay of a game that's either been timed exclusive or whatever, comes out later on and then does gangbusters. It usually does not. And we could see that even up until like Silent Hill 2 remake that just happened, and a bunch of other games that have all been timed exclusives that have come over to the other consoles later on at some point. However, this is not the case with something like this. I think it's a missed opportunity. I think that would be insane. I think that's an absolute zero chance that that's happening.
Well, Destin
it's going
says
to be multi-platform.
I kind of feel like that way too, and I'm not fighting for it to be exclusive at all. I mean, those days don't mean the same thing they used to mean. When people say, "Oh, you used to champion exclusives," like, yeah, that literally used to be the name of the game, and that is no longer, since mid 2024. That is no longer the discussion. It doesn't work anymore. Destin says that I honestly don't know. Where'd it go? Both make sense. But PlayStation would still buy the game later. But I imagine it's on all platforms day one. The console is done, so why make it exclusive anymore? I agree, Destin, because I don't think the prospect of, hey, let's boost Game Pass subscriptions by having this game only available on the Xbox console and PC. Because Game Pass PC and Game Pass Xbox console would have access to the game. So there could be a spike there. But I think it's if they asked... I just think if you ask Bethesda, it's like, what would you rather do? Bethesda would say, give us 3 more months of development time. I want to launch it on everything. And I think it's, I would say that to PlayStation.
Sense to me, my friend.
I would say that to PlayStation. You've got Wolverine. You've got this game from Marvel. You've got a really fantastic looking game. And you could boost the sales of your game tremendously by launching it on PC day and date as well as PlayStation. But,
yes,
they have to sell consoles. Like I said earlier, like PlayStation has to sell consoles. If they don't, they can't live on their software alone. They might be able to.
No,
I don't know.
The point of selling their consoles is to get the eyeballs on their store, on their storefront.
Yeah,
and that's
good
where they
point.
make their real bread and butter, right? So it's not about the plastic sale. It's about getting the eyeballs in the store. And the only place to access the PlayStation Store is through the console, right? So that's why the console sales are so important. Now, if you think about it and you look at the trajectory of where their sales are right now, they're at 84.1 million sold. And that's, it continues to go up.
Is that what they? I thought they were just past 60. I was
No, it's
remembering the wrong number.
84.1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. What I meant to say was
from the last
85
year.
then. Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Not
they sold
65.
4 million or 3.9 million in the last quarter or whatever. But anyway, that's going to get a major spike next fall.
They sold more than Xbox did like the entire past 2 years.
Globally. Yeah, someone that was actually funny enough. That was the first comment I saw underneath. They're like, in one quarter they sold more than Xbox sold globally over the entire year.
Yeah, Destin has a breakdown on his Twitter today because he's been doing
I saw
like a research guesstimation thing. Yeah.
So yeah, but if you look at like I said, you look at the trajectory of where 2026 is going to go beyond that. Wolverine's going to sell consoles. Modern Warfare 4 is going to sell consoles because there's always going to be a new batch of kids that are going to get into the ecosystem, whatever, right? We see it all the time. We saw that nice little video today, the one where the kid was crying because he got a PS5. Remember did you see that video?
I haven't
seen
it, no.
and his it's so cute. It's getting like tens of thousands of views now. Like his parents wrapped him a PS5 controller. And he's like, I don't have this. He goes, you guys bought me the wrong controller or whatever. And then they're like, oh, we're so sorry. And he goes, it's okay. I'll put it back in the box. You guys can return it to the store. And then he found the next present was actually the PS5, and he started crying and stuff. Anyway, whatever. That's not the point. The point
I like
is
the video of the kid opening an Xbox Series S and he starts crying for the wrong reason.
That was Blind King in the chat, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, that video was about him. I'm just busting your balls. Anyways, and then when GTA 6 I was about to say GTA 4. When GTA 6 comes out, and you got a lot of those PS4 players who haven't upgraded yet, right? I'm just saying specifically of that category. I'm not talking about Xbox One players to series consoles. So let's say those players, they go from PS4 to PS5 to be able to play GTA 6 and Modern Warfare 4, by the way, because I know they said it last year, but apparently this year Modern Warfare 4 will be only for current-gen consoles at that point. So anybody who wants to continue that, they'll have to upgrade to an Xbox Series console or a PS5.
You think that actually
they'll be well
boosts
over
those
100
consoles?
million. What's that?
You think that actually boosts the consoles?
Absolutely.
That might, actually.
Absolutely, it will.
Well, Xbox did ramp up their production finally.
I want to say about that, 100 million PS5s. You're not going to start off. Elder Scrolls 6 with 100 million consoles in the wild.
Yeah, I mean that's
insanity.
Next gen
It'll
only
never
game.
happen.
People don't see the full picture when they just jump on comment sections and just roast a company like Xbox, and they deserve a lot of the roasting they get. But the reality is, for most of this generation, almost the entire generation, Xbox has done one of two things to keep from selling consoles. The first thing they did in the first 3 years of this generation was allocate most of their production to the cloud infrastructure and data centers. They were making these Xbox Series chips and then putting a small amount out to retail and building up the data center because they thought cloud would be more important than actually selling consoles and having console players on their ecosystem. And then once they stopped pushing everything to the data centers, which is around 2022 or 2023, they started telling the world, you don't need a console. And the next year they started putting their tentpole titles on the competing platform and basically said, we're multi-platform now. All along the time while they've been selling their games on PC. So I always said, every year I said, you should be surprised Xbox sells any consoles whatsoever. With the attitude and the approach that they have to their hardware business, it is a miracle that they've sold 30 to 32 million consoles this gen. An absolute
but you're always
miracle.
Going to have.
You
can
call
have
them
a dedicated
failure all you
fan
want,
base,
Mag.
Colt.
Hang on, you could call
I'm
them
not
a
saying
failure.
they're a failure. I said their hardware was not where it's supposed to be.
Well, they have
their
done nothing.
Far below their projections.
They've done nothing to make that a competing product in the marketplace.
Yeah.
I'll give you the short version.
But they're always
I'll say it
but
again.
You have a dedicated fan base, Colt. You still have
I know,
a dedicated fan
they're
base.
drowning
when
them.
the
They're
next
the skeleton
Xbox
in the
comes out,
bottom.
I'm still going to buy it.
I will
going to have it.
I will
I'm going to have it.
I know.
You know what I mean? When the PS6 comes out, I'm going to have it. It's just what we do.
Not enough stock because
we
wanted to make the cloud data centers. And then once they had stock, They told the world you don't need an Xbox. What the F did you think was going to happen? And I need to go read Xbox Air's article because Xbox is putting out.
Yeah, I read it earlier today. It was a good article. Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I'm going to read it.
Oh, by the way, Colt. We got another lover in the chat here. We got C. Ben in the house. Look at it. He goes, "Hey, look, it's the loser clickbaiting for the new Elder Scrolls. Happy New Year. Be a better man, dude." I have not seen so much hate in one chat in one night.
I forgot. You know what I did?
Love this.
You know what I did, Mag? I never do this. Okay. Today, I just went ahead and posted the podcast. Usually, I leave it to subscriber only to comment.
Right. Yeah.
Not to gatekeep comments.
Yeah.
For many years, if you didn't do that, you'd get like spam bots, like porn bots, like Russian porn spam, like hot girls naked, click here. And I didn't remember that because I haven't seen any spam. But then you get like the turd nuggets who didn't read the source material, didn't click the link, didn't listen to the video. You know, it's like, hey, I hope someday you can possibly enjoy gaming as much as we do. I hope someday that joy comes into your little Grinch heart where you actually can listen to speculative rumors and glean out what the possibility of that discussion would actually be with your own brain and decide, hey, like it's okay to say, I don't think it's going to make it in 2026. I think it's actually going to be somewhere like in mid 2027. Oh, do you? Because I said that in the video. Oh, but you just read the thumbnail. Oh, I get it. Okay, simpletons. Hey, Grok,
dude,
what did Cole say in this video?
I love it. I'm loving it. I'm loving it more and more now. You know what? It's been awesome tonight. So much hate and so much just to end the year. Listen, man, you made it when you get a lot of haters. Looks like we made it.
Yep. Destin goes,
Where's
spam.
the drum machine?
Yeah,
someone get an AI so we can sing along to it.
Destin, you need to spam more YouTube videos. That's what you should be doing. You need to be making more content. So that's how you really spam the internet. Just start sending out, 3 videos a day. Hi, I'm Destin, and I'm out. No, but good content. And you know what?
I always watch Destin.
I know I do too, and I obsess over production values, and then I look at his stuff with this. It looks so effortless. And he's also done like this
IGN. He knows.
I haven't talked to him. Yeah, I mean he's got training from all the stuff he's learned.
Made with like, and all the cameras he clearly stole from the studio. So, like when he was leaving the studio, they're like, Destin, what's in your pants over there? He's like, oh, nothing. I'm just excited.
It's like the middle of June, and he brings his biggest winter coat, and he's like, well, today's my last day. No, but he does. Destin does this.
He's got those digital cameras stuffed in his pants. Yeah.
He does this pre-automated stuff. So like he has these overlays and he's pre-automated these transitions that he's made so that when he's doing like real-time reporting, he can flip to this and this flips over here. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I would do that like manually, in post-production. And he does this. It's really great stuff. Go watch this. He's a good.
He's great. And listen, Destin, if you want to get some more subscribers, you got to start every video
my
like
production
this.
stinks. Yeah.
Hey there, guys. Dustin. Hey there, guys. Destin here, and today we're talking about the death of Xbox. And
why is he
start every
like
video like that?
Guy?
You're gonna make what? I wasn't saying anything about Dreamcast.
The situation of Xbox is an absolute bloodbath.
I like Dreamcast.
That's what you got to do, Destin. That's how you do it, man. That's how you do it. You want to do it like the pros? And today we're talking about the death of Xbox.
Xbox dead.
And you got to hold the controller up.
In 2022.
I'm just busting your balls, Dreamcast guy.
And 2024.
I'm just busting his chops.
And 2025. And 2026.
Yeah, no, it's good stuff.
Lord.
Where were we? Is there anything else to cover in the Elder Scrolls 6 leak?
No, not really. I just don't think it's coming out this year. I think there's a 0% chance. That's just my stance.
That window is pretty dicey for sure.
It's too dicey. There's too much stuff coming out. What the hell are we talking about here? And that's a monster title that other titles, let me tell you something. There are going to be other titles getting away from Elder Scrolls. It's going to be the fantasy RPG version of GTA 6 where everybody's going to go, oh crap, when is that coming out? Okay, everybody start moving your games away from that because like I said before, Skyrim sold 60+ million copies. That is nothing to shake a stick at, dude. That's a huge amount of copies sold. It's going to be a monster game. And as a result of that,
I'm not buying it.
Other games are going to move out of its way. So I don't see them shoving it into the ass end of 26 and thinking like, we'll just shove it in there like it's like it. You know what I mean? Like, you can't do that. I could see them doing that with Clockwork Revolution. Maybe they dump that in like late December and be like, yeah, just put it there, whatever. We'll see how it does.
I mean, it could be.
We keep hearing it's delayed beyond that, but
I don't know if Clockwork's ready, but it could be. And I'm certainly going to posture that it could possibly be ready, and then maybe they slip, and that's just like the name of the game.
I keep hearing it got slipped a little bit out of 26.
I don't know if anybody's.
I don't
really
know. I don't know. We listen, man. I don't know. At the end of the day, we're all the same. Okay, we're just gonna. I'm not saying it's not
Meg,
good. Sofa King.
I just can't imagine. I hid.
That's not going
to
do Sky. Sorry. Go ahead.
I hid that Bennett guy because when you said it, it comes off with Mag's voice. It's like, oh. Like the insult coming from Mag, it's like, yeah, that's fun. But when I looked at it, I hit the guy.
Because I make everything fun.
I can't. You do. I love you, Mag. You're amazing. And
thank you.
Speaking of amazing, shout out to everybody who's watched the show. Hit the like button.
Funky Playbox, knock it off.
Just imagine going to someone's channel or their comment section or where they create their stuff and calling them a loser because you didn't like that report. Like, imagine taking video games so personally. Come on now. Come on, guys.
Dude, you know what I love? You know what I love to do with people who come to my channel and say horrible things, and they do. I mean, they go to everybody's. Listen, when you're in the public, you're going to deal with that stuff. It's just the way it is, right?
Sure.
Whether you're a movie star, a musician, whether you're a YouTuber, whatever the hell you're doing, if you're out in the public, you're always going to get a ton of hate, and that's just the way it is. However, you know how I respond to it? Instead of my actual instinct is to grab you by the back of your head and literally cave your face in until there's nothing but a hole. So you look like one of those monsters from Stranger Things. But like, but what I do say after I just put like, okay, dude. And I said, I appreciate your input. Thank you very much for watching the video and checking out the channel. That's it. That's it. I just say it like that. Now,
that's
one of
what
two
Red
things
Wolf does
happen.
as well. Yeah.
They either diffuse. Yeah, they either diffuse. And they're like, oh, okay, so this guy isn't as, whatever.
We're not your enemy.
They throw themselves out of the top of a building. The one of the two is going to happen. Yeah. So to me, that's a positive result. So like, you know what I mean? So either they're going to throw themselves out of a window because they can't handle what I just said, like I kill them with kindness, or they go like, you know what? Maybe I'm the jerk, and I'm just going to. And you know how many people actually had come to my channel who started off aggressive and negative and whatever else, and then they actually are now maggots.
Yeah,
like I got like two of them that I can name off the top of my head. I won't, but we became like friends, and I'm just like, thank you for checking out the thing. I appreciate your input, and thanks for checking out the channel. I go, if you want to have a level-headed discourse, come to the Magcast, and we could talk, and whatever else, right?
The more comments you get like that, like as you get more people watching your stuff and more comments or whatever, they want validation. They want.
I told you, dude, it's about attention.
They want attention.
They want attention because mom didn't read them stories and dad went out for menthol cigarettes and never came home. And whatever, you know what I mean? And then that's all there is to it. By the way, Magnum has he has the
I think I saw it. Go ahead.
Comment of the night, ladies and gentlemen. He says, Mag rewards his trolls by making them mods. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is a fact because guess who my mod is on my channel is Magnum. Of course.
Yep.
The king troll himself.
Destin says, people start watching, liking me, and slowly hating me, Mag. Get on my level. Yeah, I see. It's funny. Destin gets hate. When Destin gets hate, I'm like, oh, okay, that's normal. Because Destin doesn't insult anyone. Destin doesn't say anything crazy.
No,
he doesn't start fights, So
I mean, he said horrible things about me behind the scenes. That's a whole other story. I mean, he's a monster. He sent a dead rabbit to my front door with a note on it. But I mean, that's just Destin behind the scenes, folks.
And I love Destin will say, I really like this PlayStation game, and all of a sudden Xbox guys are calling him names. Or I really like this, I really like Starfield, and then all of a sudden it's like, here comes go vacuum yourself into space, you loser. But yeah, I mean, I get so many comments. I get maybe. Yeah. I don't know, 500 comments every week or 1,000 or something across my content. And I cannot look at those. And, when you see somebody call you a name, your blood pressure will rise and you have to go, down and just go
Yeah.
hide them. And because if I say anything, like I used to say things like, thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for subscribing. And then they're like, I didn't subscribe, you jerk. It's not worth it.
No.
And
Nah, it's not worth it, man.
Risk
It's
It.
not worth it.
Let me read some chats here. We got
Why?
Risk It for the Biscuit. Says, Merry Christmas to Colt, chat, and everyone except Mag. Kidding.
Thank you, Risk It. I appreciate it. Get back in that kangaroo pouch and just hop away.
He said, Merry Christmas to the geriatric Bruce Willis. Well, the alive Bruce Willis is a legend, but Mag takes
He's a legend. He's not doing good, by the way.
Yeah, I know.
He's not doing good. They moved him to a long-term care facility.
I'm going to say this again, Mag.
A week ago, I think. Yeah, it's terrible.
I'm going to say this. He's not doing well, but that man is a legend and has lived life to the fullest and provided us the most awesome freaking movies and characters. And, you know, I don't know how old he is. He's like, he's got to be 60 something, right?
He's not old.
In that short life, he has done so much. And I hope that everyone remembers how awesome we are when our short time on this planet. It's tough.
He's 70 right now. So his symptoms started when he was 57, and which is terrifying as we have started to approach that decade. You know what I'm saying? And then it's now he's 70, but now they've already moved him to a long-term care facility because he's just he's not there. He's apparently he's nonverbal now. So now he's in a situation. So like being nonverbal at this point is just like, oh crap.
It's impossible to have gratitude for everything that goes well in our lives, and we have lots of problems that we think about all the time, right? But just take a minute once in a while and think, man, I've had some great times in my life, and I'm gonna do the best that I can. But Mag, glad to have you here with me. Biffer Knowledge says, shout out to your t-shirts. I don't know. I haven't even looked at your t-shirt because I'm all Star Wars. Yeah,
I just had a Grogu shirt on, and you have Queen on. Yeah, usually wear something a little more like, you know, and then you got Queen. Yeah, great. Yeah, so like,
thank you.
I just happen to have it on. I just didn't. Usually, well, I've got a collection of T-shirts, and it's kind of funny. I remember some of the kids that work for me, and they're like, dude, every day you come in, you've got a different shirt. It's unbelievable. And it's like, it gets to the point where the staffer's like, I want to see what kind of shirt you got today. And I have like well over 150 plus t-shirts of all different genres of stuff, video games, horror movies, horror icons, and then like, you know, sci-fi stuff, whatever, funny things and all that kind of jazz. And I just always do something different. So like, that's what I do. Yeah. Risk It already starting again. Did you see his super chat?
Yeah, I did. I'll get to it in a second. Willem New, thank you for the $2 super, says, imagine Elder Scrolls and Fable releasing in 2026. Yeah, I don't know what to do with those two games. No. So one of them slipping. Probably both, but God Emperor Sofa King, thank you for the 2, says, Morrowind was exclusive. Yeah, but you know, I think those days are over. Game Seeker, thank you so much for the $25 super chat. Says, wishing you guys a great new year, filled with good vibes and amazing gaming moments, especially in Fallout 76. I added that last part, but
yeah, of course you did. Yeah, no mention of Resident Evil Requiem, but okay. Yes.
But I'll throw that in there, Mag. But Game Seeker has been spending. I've kind of forced him to spend way too much time with me over the past week and a half. We've been putting in all this time in Fallout and just talking about life and gaming and news and everything while we play the game. It's been what's the word? Priceless. It's been good.
Good.
The Deceiver T1P, thank you for the £2 super, says, you still got the prawn bots links for me. Oh, the prawn. Yeah, Deceiver, I'll send you all those links from the Russian nudie websites, you know.
I already got them all. I saved on my phone, so we're all good.
Yeah.
121p. I'm 100%. We're timing out Risk It. In fact, he's going to get banned. He's already banned from my channel.
Yeah. Shout out to Risk It. Destin said that the people are mad because I said I had gameplay, but I said gameplay details, but that's one of those dicey things. But, you know, there's a bunch of gameplay details in the video. But, yeah, of course, gameplay hasn't leaked. But, yeah, it's kind of the push and pull of YouTube stuff that bothers people. But, you know, then again, yeah, I've talked about it before. People won't watch unless They think it's going to be, I don't know. It's a whole thing. Will, with the $2 super chat from Will says, Destin Cast Guy, a new channel. Invisible Wharf 8 Simon, thank you for the $2 super, says, did Microsoft stop the Xbox Series X and X production? Kind of, yeah. They kind of did for at least a year, I think.
Series X production was stopped a while ago, though. That was stopped like halfway through 25. So that was a bit ago. I think it was.
Now they're wrapping it up because they know they have to sell consoles for the 2020
GTA
6, yeah, and all that stuff.
Yeah, for GTA
because they have
6,
a bunch of stuff.
Because they got all those people on Xbox One still, right? So they got to move them. Those people are going to move. Oh, sorry, in Modern Warfare 4. So Modern Warfare 4 is another one. So you got two big games. Modern Warfare 4 and GTA 6 are both current gen only, and there's still a lot of people playing on the Xbox One, right? Yeah. So that being the case, they're either going to have to stop playing the games that they love to play, or they're going to have to upgrade one way or another. And if they want to stay in the Xbox ecosystem, they're going to have to move up to a Series console, but they'll probably get a Series S at that point, right? That's pretty much all you're going to be able to.
Yeah, it just
you'll find some Series X's, but
sucks that the Xboxes are so overpriced with those price hikes. It's really, really crappy. Risky for the Biscuit does send a super chat and says, when will Mag be nonverbal? Never.
Yeah, never. It's never going to happen. Listen, and Risk It even says that he puts in there, goes, hit the like if you want Mag to be nonverbal. That's it, guys. Get those likes up, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, let's do this.
Yeah, we appreciate 500 watching. Hit that like Mag said. Marvel Blade came back up in the news. The lead producer at Arcane Leon, Dingo said that they are really excited and have more to share. They're really excited about what they're building, which is like, oh, why do you say anything if you have nothing? They announced the game in 2024, I think. Might have been 2023. And everyone's like, that game's like a 2027 release. And it sounds like, yeah, it's not coming out anytime soon. Imagine they just finally show the game at Developer Direct next month. Like, that would be crazy. But I think that game was always supposed to be a 2027 release. It's a third-person action game. It's got a little bit of stylized visuals. It's not going to be like Wolverine-level graphics. It's not that style of game as far as from what we've seen from the one screen, or they've shared 2 screenshots like a year and a half ago. So you're talking about, Magnum goes, it'll suck anyway. I don't know if he's talking about Marvel Blade, but you're looking at the studio that made Deathloop and is pretty tried and true, but also Arcane Austin was pretty tried and true until they made Redfall. But I don't know what's going on with Marvel Blade. Like, does anybody care about this character in the 2020s?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the only thing that's going on with the character in a negative fashion right now is that Disney can't seem to get their stuff together. I mean, poor Mahershala Ali has been hanging on for 5 years now, and they can't even launch this bloody movie because they had to cancel the script 3 times now because he has veto rights to deny the script. And the script was ridiculous. But anyway, that's a whole other situation. But either way, it's been canceled again, the movie. So it's like they're never going to get this out. Like, how hard is it to get a guy with a gun and a sword and killing vampires? How hard is it to make that movie, Disney? Oh, I know why. Because you're looking to check your boxes. Oh, we need 3 girls in here. We need this and that. Because you can't do it. And you can't do it because you can't just make a simple masculine film about a masculine man murdering vampires with bloodthirsty rage. How friggin' hard is that? Excuse me. So anyways, that's the negative news.
Is Disney still pushing that sort of thing right now?
Well, not as much.
They've lost millions of dollars by checking boxes.
Billions, dude. Billions. Now, the thing is, the original scripts, I mean, this is off topic about the game, but I thought it'd be fun for people to know. I read one of the scripts. The scripts weren't even going to be really about, he was going to be a background character, and it was going to be about his daughter and her 2 girlfriends. We're going to be like this trio vampire hunters.
Youngblood.
And Blade was going to... He was going to be in the background, just kind of there, like almost mentoring them, and it was going to focus more on them. And then they saw what happened to the Marvels and Miss Marvel.
You girls need some gas money before you go out? Was watching TV.
And hey, it is what it is. But Disney, they realize in a moment of desperation, they're like, oh God, Somebody call Robert Downey Jr. and get everybody back for Doomsday, because this is that's a Hail Mary. Let's face it. Doomsday and Secret Wars is a Hail Mary.
Jarvis, put Blade back in the game.
Because they weren't going to do it. Don't forget what they were going to do. They were going to do the other movies with what's-his-face, Kang. Remember that? They announced Avengers and whatever it's called, Empire of Kang or this and that and whatever, and that all fell through because he got arrested. And then they're like, okay, guys, we're losing billions. What do we need? Bring back Captain America. Bring back Thor. Bring back Robert Downey Jr. Bring back all the X-Men. I don't care if Ian McKellen needs to be wheeled in on a wheelchair. Bring his ass in there. He's Magneto. You know what I mean? Revive Patrick Stewart with the paddles and get his ass back up there. He's Professor X. Like, they're doing all that stuff.
Wait.
You know what I mean?
Wait, is Patrick Stewart still alive?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay.
I'm just being, ridiculous. By the way, I saw the third trailer for Doomsday, so I'm sure some people in the chat have seen it. But anyways, back to Blade. The point is
wait.
that,
Which movie are you going to first? Yeah. Avengers Doomsday or Dune 3?
Oh, God, no, Avengers. I'm going to see Avengers for sure. Dune 3 I can watch at home. I'll watch it at home. I watch the other two at home. I'll watch Dune 3 at home. But Doomsday I'll watch in the theater for sure. But
what about
anyways,
Avatar, Fire and Ash?
Blade.
Sorry.
Fire and Ash I have not seen yet, but I still want to see it just for the spectacle. You know what I mean? It's not really for the story for me. It's all just the visuals. As for the game Blade, I have a feeling, now this is just a feeling, I have a feeling that the Blade game, getting back onto that topic, is going to be very similar to size and scope of, let's say, like a South of Midnight. In terms of its length, like an 8-hour game, maybe an 8 to 10-hour experience, that kind of thing. And then you can go back and do different difficulties and whatever else. I don't think it's going to be a giant, sprawling, open-world experience. It's going to be a more curated, focused experience, and I think it'll be somewhere around the 8 to 10-hour range. And therefore, it'll be sort of like a mid-size game. And that they can release whenever, because if a shorter experience can be completed and enjoyed in a smaller period of time, you can release that whenever you want. That's like, to me, that's an extra bullet in the chamber for whenever they want to bolster up, their release cadence, right? So it's,
you think the TV show cancellation really pissed them off? Because
100% it did.
Yeah,
it wasn't a TV show; it was a movie. It was an actual like. Movie.
It was a movie. The Blade thing.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. So they canceled it. But I'm looking forward to the Blade game because the art style doesn't bother me too much. I've watched the Miles Morales movies with that art style, like the sort of slowed down frames per second thing,
yeah,
the kind of stuttery thing.
Twos. I like that.
Yeah, that doesn't bother me. South of Midnight didn't bother me either. That was because it was in that game as well. If you implement it in a cool way, I don't think it's a problem. But I have a feeling the gameplay will be smooth. I think it'll just be some of the like the cinematics and stuff like that will have that sort of style. And
so you're talking like gun kana and swords and everything like that.
Yeah,
I'm not.
It's gonna be dope, man.
You'll have to teach me about the Blade franchise because
you've never seen them.
I've never seen the movies.
Okay, so do yourself a favor. As soon as we're done the show,
I'm watching it right now
without your children around. Watch the first Blade. The first Blade is a visceral, brutal, bloody movie.
Broke my ankle.
See what happens when you get old, folks? He broke his ankle on a podcast.
I bumped my foot on my desk, and now it's like a debilitating injury. The bone came out. It's compound fracture. My foot has to be amputated. Yeah, that's what happens when you're 49. When did Blade 1 come out, the first movie? I have a
1999.
feeling. Okay, so my wife and I were engaged or whatever. I guess maybe I was like, hey, let's go watch this movie about this, this bloody vampire
98.
movie.
My bad.
Yeah.
98.
Okay, so yeah.
I saw the producers put on a special event before the movie came out. I saw it like about 6 months before it came out. And so I knew one of the producers. So the producer, I was invited to go sit in and watch it. And it was hilarious. So let me tell you the story. First of all, I'd never been in a movie theater like that. It was basically a screening theater, like 25 seats. And these giant chairs. We had waiters. They're bringing us food and booze and stuff like that. Didn't exist back then, right? And so I'm like, this is awesome. And there's all these people in suits and stuff. And there was a couple of media people there, like whatever. And me, this jackass sitting there watching this.
Did you have hair then?
Who the hell's this guy? No, I still did not have hair. I had a little bit of hair. Anyways, I'm watching the movie. And for anybody,
I want to hear about your hair
shout out
first.
to the chat. I'll send you a picture of me with hair. Shout out to the chat. Y'all know the opening scene. The scene in the rave called the Bloodbath. and that's the name of the rave. It's a vampire rave called Bloodbath. That's all I'm going to say. Okay. And y'all know that thing. And then the music kicks in, and then whatever, and then all the stuff goes on, and then all of a sudden when the action starts happening, and I'm like, I literally screamed this out loud because I was like just blown away. I'd never seen anything like that. And I said, this is effing awesome.
And you're 22 years old.
Everybody turned and stared at me. And I was just like, sorry. I'm like, this is amazing. I've never seen anything like this. I've never seen a superhero do this, what he was doing. The murder, the blood, the mayhem, dismembering, stabbing spikes through faces. I was like, this is awesome. And dude, I fell in love. And Wesley Snipes was perfect for the role. Mahershala Ali is also perfect for the new role, but whatever. And then, of course, we've got the video game. The video game, they also talked about, by the way, if you went into detail with the actual, one of the creators of the game, said, we will be showing you more next year. So I can tell you this with absolute certainty, you're not going to see anything gameplay-wise till 27.
Yeah, probably not. Yeah, probably
so not. Late 27, I could see it dropping. Somewhere in there.
I mean, there's a report I got that Xbox has more games in 2026 than they did in 2025. And I don't even think that's possible. I mean, they had little things like Keeper, and they had the Tony Hawk 3 and 4 remaster. They had the Gears remaster, you know, that kind of rounded out the games. But, excuse me, I don't know how in the world they could have more than 10 or 12 games in 2026. Unless something like Clockwork and Blade and maybe Elder Scrolls and Fable. Like someone said in the chat, hey, Colt, like what if Fable is set for mid-2026? I don't know. I seriously have no idea. I talked to someone who said who acts like they know that the game development has been a mess. So it's been like a big troubling issue. But
I heard the same thing. Because
like
Playground,
we don't know.
I don't want to get into details, but
like
they're in-house fighting.
Yeah. I mean, I've heard that too a while ago, but Craig Duncan said in February of 2024, he's like, we're not going to make it in 2025. No, I'm like, you have 9 months. Either. You have 9 months in 2025. Like, I thought it really sounds like if you're saying this now, you're not ready for early 2026. You probably need even more than that, but I could be 100% wrong. The reality could really be for Fable is the last week of January is the developer direct, somewhere around there. And Fable is on that. Like if Fable pops up on that graphic for the developer direct while we're watching it live, we're about to see gameplay. And then at the end of the trailer, it says, you know, May 28th or April 16th or some crap. And I'd be like, what? You know, because at this point,
that would be shocking.
It would be better for Xbox and Microsoft to say, here's our game. You get it 3 to 6 months later. Instead of these effing, here's our game. Hope you get to play it in 7 years. I'm so sick of that. So
yeah.
I don't know. I don't really feel like Clockwork Revolution is ready for 26.
You want to hear what I think is going to happen? I think that 2026, with what Xbox has now, or presumed to have now, what we presume to have for 26, is just fine. That's more than enough. I know some people are like, no, just keep giving me more. I'm like, don't be ridiculous, okay? That's not how these things work. I know you want all that stuff, but it's not how it works. You've got Forza Horizon 6, monster title. Gears of War E-Day, monster title. Halo Campaign Evolved, monster title. Call of Duty Modern Warfare, monster title. That's 4, ladies and gentlemen. Grand Theft Auto 6, even though it's third party, it's still going to be, you guessed it, a monster title on Xbox. That's 5. You don't need any more than that in terms of the big titles. Okay? You got 5 AAA games coming out that are going to sell incredibly well and do incredibly well. That's all you need for 2026. Stop trying to shove things in where they don't belong, okay? This is not like a late night at the emergency department. Yeah, this is not the late night emergency department at the hospital where dude comes in and goes, oh, I don't know how it got in there. Yeah, we know. Anyways, the point is you don't want to keep trying to shove things in between all of that. That's ridiculous, and it doesn't make any business sense. I've spoken to people Microsoft who laugh at some of the things that they hear about. Then they're like,
Yeah.
I can't believe people actually think we're doing this, and this. They're like, that's ridiculous. And listen, that's 5 major
Aaron Greenberg
titles.
said that to me last year.
Yeah, did he? There you go.
Yeah, he was like,
you
really think we've got Banjo-Kazooie coming, you know? Like, that was funny. Well,
but like,
he didn't
you know
quite
what I mean?
say
But
it that
now,
way, but yeah.
don't forget, now you've got Microsoft Publishing releasing other smaller titles in between those 5 titles, right? Those 5 major titles. So you've got smaller experiences sprinkled throughout the year. On top of that, third-party deals, which, by the way, fun fact, ladies and gentlemen, we will be seeing. I'll just say it. I don't care. You're going to be seeing 2 third-party titles at the Developer Direct. Okay? So you've got that on top of everything else. Okay? Why do you need more? That doesn't make any business sense. So now you look at 27, Fable, Elder Scrolls, Blade, Clockwork Revolution, new Call of Duty. You got 27 covered. And maybe throw in, what's that zombie game that I don't like?
State of Decay 3.
Yeah, State of Decay.
Well, hold on, Meg. When you say, why shove all these in when you've got 2027? Here's the other problem.
Okay.
Matt Booty just told us this year they've got 40 projects in the works that haven't even been announced yet. So I know those.
He needs to calm down with those because a lot of those won't see the light of day.
10 to 15% of those may not see the light of day, but you're talking like 30 games. You're talking 30 plus games. 33 games are going to come out like guaranteed from that list of games, which means if he's saying they've got that many projects in the works, they must have some staggered stuff because you're not going to go to June showcase. You're probably going to get one new reveal at Developer Direct. And 1 month from now, we're going to get a game shown to us from Xbox first party that we didn't even know existed. It's going to get its reveal announcement and come out in 2026. I can guarantee that's what they're going to do.
Sure.
And then in June, Mag, you're not going to have a showcase full of Halo, Gears, and Forza, Fable, and Clockwork over and over again. A bunch.
Sorry, you said Halo, Gears, Forza. I started dancing. Yeah.
Right. Halo, Gears, and Forza.
The song was coming in my head.
Yeah, mine too. Remember, you're going to get 25 to 30%-ish or more new reveals at the showcase. So there's going to be this stagger of here's a game, it's releasing, here's some reveals that are going to release later, here's those games that are finally releasing that we revealed the year before, and they've got this thing going. So if Xbox says, get Fable out before GTA because it's ready, maybe they're surprised us. I'm seeing us dance on the replay. We look like idiots, as always. I don't know. I tend to be a little more. I'm a pessimistic guy, but when I talk about gaming, I tend to be more optimistic because it's my favorite hobby, and I like to be happy and not constantly depressed and thinking the worst possible scenario. And when I get my hopes dashed, I'm okay with it because it's just a video game. It'll be fine unless the game gets canceled. So.
For every game that you don't see in the immediate future, Satanist, relax. He goes, if you can't stand the heat, get the F out of gaming.
No, that's the words. That's the words of the song. Halo, Gears, and Forza.
I know.
Halo, Gears, and Forza. You can't stand the heat, get out of gaming.
Out of gaming, yeah. Satanist, that's hilarious, dude. But anyways, for every game, now what I just discussed there, my personal thoughts for 26-27, right? Which I think are fairly accurate. Now, the thing is, you also can't forget that there's also a metric F-ton of third-party games as well as all of that. And that's where people don't see that as well. You think that Xbox is the only one making games? Like, you know what I mean? And you got to understand that like 90% of the games being played are not exclusives or are not down to one company. They are the multi-platform games that everybody plays except for what Microsoft Publishing owns with Activision, but that's a whole other thing. But like if you look at the other side, like look at what's happening in 26. Okay, we got what's coming up right now. Cold. We've got Resident Evil in February, whatever. I'm not going to go through the whole year. I'm just going to talk about that specific example, right? End of February. But what else is getting dumped on us in there? Prince of Persia: Sands of Time. I'm a sucker for that.
Crimson Desert is a big thing in March.
Crimson Desert is in March. These are all third-party folks. Then on top of that, you got the Black Flag Resynced coming out on day one. Day
Can't wait.
effing one, right? So as a result of that, that's 3 third-party games I can name right there. Then you throw in Batman, then you throw in 007, then you throw in GTA 6, and that doesn't even include the five big AAA Xbox games. That also
And the
doesn't
Mind's Eye
include Wolverine.
reimagining.
The what? Sorry.
Mind's Eye reimagining.
Oh,
Mind's
yeah,
Eye
that's coming
2.0.
too. Yeah.
I'm just joking.
2.0, yeah. You got Wolverine on the other side of the fence. You got the other game. What the hell is it called? Ah, jeez, it's on the tip of my tongue. The other timed exclusive PlayStation game. What the hell is it called? It's coming out in September. Shield. What the hell is the name of it? Phantom Blade? Phantom Blade Zero and Sorrows. Okay, so
you guys don't know what you're
when
talking
you think about those. You think about those 5 Xbox games that we were talking about. Okay, sorry, that I was talking about, not Colt. That's what I was suggesting for 26. Those 5 games. Now you tack on a dozen of those AAA third-party games. How many games do you think you're actually playing a year? Get real. You're not playing 37 games, 47 games, 50 games. You're not doing it.
Maybe 20.
At the end of it all, you're not getting to all those games.
Oh, we got, Analog says, don't forget fair games. And Marathon. Marathon's going to be a big launch.
Crap.
Marathon's going to be a really big launch. The game may not.
It is going to be a big launch.
We don't know if it's going to succeed or not, but it's going to be a big moment when it launches, right? There's going to be a lot of people jumping on there to see.
You and I
good.
play a lot of games, Colt. This is what we do. I mean, we do this as a passion. We do this whole YouTube thing as it's a job and it's a passion, but we also game outside of this and we love doing it. Deceiver is going to be playing every single one of those games. I want to see it. Yeah,
I do too.
So you know what I mean? There's a lot going on. We can't get to them all. And even someone like us who reviews games, we play games, we stream games, we still can't even get to them all. I got half a dozen games I haven't bought yet. Dude, what are
I didn't finish Kingdom
about?
Come Deliverance. I didn't finish Split Fiction.
Split Fiction is a fantastic game.
I know.
What a wonderful game. Let's also talk about. I didn't get Metal Gear Solid Delta. I didn't
either.
Get that one yet. I didn't get Dying Light the Beast yet.
I didn't finish it either. Sorry, Dante.
Like holy mackerel, man.
Yeah.
Like there's no time for all this, and you got to think from a business sense.
Meg.
Yes.
How are people so cranky, bro? How are they? Like,
dude,
we are
how can people say gaming is dead? Everything is dead.
I don't know if people say that, but how can you complain about there wasn't enough games or these aren't Game of the Year contenders when you're swimming? Like, you just named some games that I would love to sit down and play, and I haven't taken the time to. Let me read some supers here real quick.
The market
Analog,
is
thank you so much for the
shrinking.
NOK 50. I just wake up in Europe and chose violence. Pineapple pizza.
Dude, get out of here right now. Refund him his money. I'll pay you the money.
I love pineapple on pizza. And you don't, Mag.
The only fruit that belongs on pizza is tomato, because tomatoes technically a fruit,
is you,
right?
Cake.
Yeah. Well, me too. I'm a fruit that belongs on pizza. Yeah. Don't worry. I'll be coming out in the final episode of Stranger Things. Anyway, what we're gonna do is listen. Pineapple pizza is absolute nonsense. My wife, who is a fraud,
I love it.
Clearly. She orders Hawaiian pizza every time we get pizza, and I make her order her own. I'm like, listen, you want pineapple pizza, you order your own.
But it's
and so
so
she
good
orders
to
a little pizza.
have the sweet slice and then the savory slice.
You're already getting the sweet from the tomato. How much sweet do you need? It's not a candy.
Not sweet. Okay. Look, I'll tell you what.
We can't do this.
In the spirit of things, I'm putting up a poll. I'm putting up a poll.
Oh, by the way, I'd like to call out your last poll. Did you see the last poll?
Yeah, what was it?
GTA 6.
I stopped it before.
GTA 6 beat it by 9%.
That's kind of crazy.
It says, what are you more excited for? Elder Scrolls or GTA 6? GTA 6 beat it by 9%. Do not underestimate, even if you don't play it, I'm just saying, do not underestimate the power of Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, hold on. Let me just put no in your little nonsense poll here. You know, Riskit he'll probably put yes on the pizza just to piss me off specifically.
Well, I mean, Riskit lives in Australia. They can't even grow pineapples there. Right?
Well, they get eaten by the
spiders.
The koalas and the spiders. They're the wolf spiders. What was that, a wolf spider?
The camel spider. So, yeah, thank you, Analog. Thank you for the Norwegian. It's $5 in US. Appreciate you. And I want to return to my home country someday. That's where my ancestors are from. He says Fable and Forza Horizon 6 are going to be a huge hit. I'm worried about how it goes at E-Day. I would say I'm a little bit concerned about E-Day, but I loaded up 5 and I was like, this game's gorgeous, feels amazing. They're going back to the roots.
E-Day's going to do well because you brought back the men.
Yep. Oh, jeez, Meg.
Sorry, I don't care. And listen, I'm just saying what everybody's thinking, okay?
Yeah,
I'm just saying what everybody's thinking. You bring back the dudes who bought you there.
Yeah, I would say you're bringing back the OGs. You're bringing back the OGs
you're bringing back the
yeah.
Yes, your dogs.
And they happen to be men. Men on film. Hated it.
Coal trains. You know?
Man, give me your men on film.
You know what I'm saying? Hated it. That's what you're... Yeah. Hated it. Listen, you're bringing back the what made Gears, and that's what it's all about. And at the end of the day, it is what it is, man.
Different times,
Marcus
man.
Phoenix.
I love
back
Gears
Marcus
5,
Phoenix.
Though.
You're bringing back the origins. And you know what the good thing about this is? They wrote themselves in the corner by aging Marcus. But now, by going back to E-Day, you're introducing the series not only to the PlayStation players, you're also introducing the series to a younger group of Xbox players who never played the original Gears. My son, for example, who's 13, will be playing Gears E-Day, and he's probably going to love it. And you know what you did? Now you wrote back from the beginning. Now you can make 10 Gears games with Marcus Phoenix.
Yep.
And if Marcus Phoenix gets too old to do the voice, then they can use the assets, like they do with Darth Vader and stuff. After
AI.
James Earl Jones passed away, they could
do
they could use the voice assets and they could utilize that. They could make 10 more Gears with the original crew. That's how you do it. Because you get these other things where they paint themselves in a corner, narratively speaking.
Yeah, I don't like that.
And then you're screwed.
Marcus is an old man, and
and then you're stuck with what's her face there, bitching about her mother and this and that or whatever.
It sucks because
nobody cared.
It sucks because the core Gears of War fans are probably around 40 to 45 years old, and then Marcus Phoenix is like a 55 or 60-year-old in the modern era. So it's like, yikes! It's like it's tough to see. It's like when I see Sylvester Stallone, I'm like, he's not supposed to be old. He's supposed to look like he does in Rocky 3 forever.
He's aging gracefully though, because he's aging gracefully because he is the Tulsa King.
I need to watch that.
By the way, season four is wrapping up, right? So I told Gaz about that, right? I'm like, Gaz, you ever watch Tulsa King? He's like, no. And I'm like, dude. So when we did the show together, when Gaz and I did the show like a month ago or whatever, the guy messages me at 4:00 in the morning, and he goes, as soon as we ended the podcast, I've been watching. He was with his girl, and they were watching Tulsa King, and he goes, I can't stop watching it. It's so good. By the end of the week, he was already on season 3. He watched like 30 hours. Paramount Plus. Okay, it's Taylor Sheridan, man. The guy, King Midas there, man. Yeah. The guy, every show he makes is like just the #1 hit. So I don't have to get into Yellowstone and Landman and all the other stuff he does, and then Tulsa King being another one.
Oh, he does those. Okay.
Yeah. So Gaz was almost 30 hours in like a week. That's how much of Tulsa King he was watching. He's like, I can't stop watching it. He goes, it's unbelievable. And Stallone is amazing in it. So yeah, real treat.
And now I know why he hasn't finished Red Dead Redemption 2. I'm going to watch that. Oh, we got Dell. Thank you for the $2 super. Says, could Fable be closer than I think? Like first half of the year, maybe. That's kind of what we were saying.
Sorry, what was that?
He said, could Fable be closer than I think? Like the first half of the year.
No.
I don't know.
Unfortunately, no.
I'm just going to
They did talk about how they want to reveal it in the summer showcase.
Okay. I haven't heard
They did talk about that. Booty talked about it. He says he was hoping that they would show something at the summer showcase. I'm pretty sure it was Matt Booty. Yeah.
No, Matt Booty said that Playground is going to be at Developer Direct talking about what they're working on, but I translate that as
Forza.
Only seen Forza Horizon 6.
Forza Horizon 6, yeah. And then they'll announce the release date, which probably be a few months later.
It would be
my guess is April or May.
May is my guess.
Yeah, May.
My prediction.
Yeah, May. I heard May, but who knows?
Matt Booty said we have Playground there showing what they're working on. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, Fable and Forza. And then the realists are like, he probably just means Forza. But what if he's like, I'm just going to keep it ambiguous and we'll surprise him when Fable is at the Developer Direct? I don't know.
They might.
Like I said,
but I doubt it.
I'm an optimist when it comes to gaming.
You're an optimist. I'm a little bit more leaning the other way. I don't think they're going to show Fable at the Developer Direct. I think that'll be something they'll show at the summer. for an early 27 release.
Yeah, and Mag, you're not a pessimist whatsoever. As well as I know you, you're more of a realist. That is, you're not.
Well, because
negative.
I talked to. Well, no. It comes across as negative a lot, and a lot of people interpret it that way. But no, I know because that's because you know me. But like we talk outside in the real world and whatever. But the thing is, at the end of the day, the reason why is because I actually did that for a living for several years. I understand the inner workings of how the corporations work, and I deal with them directly. And of course, as a result of them dealing with them directly, who do you think I'm talking to? I'm talking to those people at Microsoft, and you know what I mean? And they give that's where you get the idea. That's where I get these, the inner workings of their business brain of how they operate and how they are, to maximize profit and release cadences and everything else. Like, I mean, it's all right there. I mean, you could see it in everywhere else too. Netflix, the same thing. Like, look at Netflix. They could have easily just released Stranger Things season 5 in one shot, but they didn't. Why? So that you have to actually subscribe for 3 months instead of one.
Well,
by splitting it up into
they did it all in the same month. So I don't know.
Yeah. So like, you know what I mean? Like they maximize their their engagement. That's how they do it.
I don't know. I just try to be a optimist, but I just try to keep I don't think of worst case scenario all the time when it comes to gaming. I like to be a little more optimistic about my realism. Definitely shines through that. I can totally see Fable slipping to 2027, and I've said it a bunch of times. But the rest of me is like, hey, what if we get a surprising happy result? Appreciate that.
It'd be fun.
It'd be great.
Like, it's fun. It's fun. Like, I love it. Like, don't get me wrong. I'm not a sourpuss. Yeah. I'm not a sourpuss. I'm not I'm a realist all the time. Absolutely not. I'm a dreamer too, man. I love to have fun and enjoy these things, and it's fun to talk about. There's some things I just don't see.
Yeah, I just have too many friends that are always like, it's the worst case scenario first before we discuss anything else, and it can get tiring. Decatron, thank you so much for the 10. Says, seeing Mag with hair is like seeing an older Jason Statham picture of Vin Diesel movies where they had hair. It is weird, totally, and I don't like it.
I was much younger in those days, but if you want to see me with hair, you have to go to my parents' house because I got those framed pictures of me running around at 19 with a full coif of hair. You know what I mean? So it's like a whole different, it's a whole different situation. And in my 20s, I still had hair. But then as soon as I got in the restaurant business, it's like getting into the army, dude. You don't have hair in the restaurant business. It's just too hot and too uncomfortable. So as soon as you walk in through those doors, everybody just shaves their head bald because it's the only thing that you can live in.
Since you knew your hair was thinning, you said, "Let's get rid of this because of my work, and it's gonna be easier."
Yeah, because it gets too hot and uncomfortable, man, and it's a nuisance. And so like if you go to I don't know how it is now, but like most of the kitchens I worked in, professional kitchens or otherwise, all the stuff, dude, everybody's bald. Everybody just shaved their head bald because it's too bloody hot.
Yeah,
it's too hot. You know what I mean? Like, you can't have a big broccoli head like these kids walking around the gym these days. Oh, bro, are you done with the the big broccoli head bouncing around? And I'm like, dude, if you worked in a kitchen at 160 degrees Celsius in the middle of summer, you're going to die with that thing on your head.
I mean, admit it. We're just jealous that they have that much hair and we don't.
I don't want hair. I think hair is ridiculous. It's uncomfortable. Yeah. I told my wife to shave her head bald. But,
Hers? My kids won't even let me shave my head
off. Shave your hair off. Who cares?
Well, all right.
Now everybody looks like Patrick Mahomes with that ridiculous hair. They all look like Muppets. You know what I mean? I'm like, honey, you want to save like $5,000 a year? Just shave your head.
Well, I see these videos. They take these guys who have really long hair and it's super thin, like it's like coming down all stringy, and then in the barber's chair on Reels or TikTok, they take all that hair and they bring it into the broccoli thing and cover up their bald head. And they're like, I'm like, you gave them a comb over, but you made it look modern. It's like,
they look like alpacas. Like the alpacas? They look like alpacas with the thing in the hair. It looks hilarious. I don't know.
Well, my son's 14. I'm like, how about I go get a low taper blowout fade and then have him run my hair forward like this? He goes, no, Dad, no.
See, my son has long hair. Like long straight hair, like down to here. And what he did is he got his done in braids, like cornrows.
Oh, really?
And then he's got the long, and he's got the long braids.
Oh
like he's got like the tight braids, like the cornrow kind of tight braids, and then he's got like long braids down the back.
Oh my gosh!
He looks badass. He loves it, and he looks great.
Do you ever think about cutting those off and gluing them on your own head? Because he doesn't.
I actually have a bunch of wigs that I used to use for my videos. You know those videos I used to do?
Oh, yeah.
So my Ponymaster 420, I've got all kinds of wigs. I got like 12
do you
wigs.
use those wigs for, intimate time?
Yeah, my wife's like, put on
Oh, crap.
And I'm like, no, honey, don't objectify me anymore. Put on the wig.
I was trying to be elegant, and I knocked my earbud completely out of my ear socket. Yeah. Well, I mean, if you don't, you could just send me pictures of you in those wigs, and we'll see what we can work with.
Oh, my God. And then all of a sudden, somehow, me and the wig will end up in Colteastwood's next thumbnail for his big video. Yeah. Insane. Yeah.
Analog, thank you so much for the NOK20. Says Fable is finished with content, just polish left, according to him. I don't know. I have no idea, but it's a lot of polish. 78 Incorporated US Gaming, thank you so much for the $10 super. Says, any chance OD 78? Releases in 2026? Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I don't know. What the hell's going on with Koji?
I don't care, and I think it's coming out because I don't care. How about that?
KJ. I mean, it's going to be one of those... It's going to be one of those weird ass like experiences, whatever. I mean, I just wish he got to make Silent Hills and call it a bloody day. Him and Guillermo del Toro had it in their hands and they were ready to do it and it just fell apart. It bothered me to no end.
Isn't this his chance to make OD or to make PT or Silent Hill with this thing? I don't know, but did you see that?
Listen, it's going to be exciting. I'm going to play it. I'm a horror game buff, right? I'm going to play the game. It's going to be wild. It's going to be scary. It's going to be quirky and weird because it's got that sort of, the Japanese flair to it. And it's a different culture than ours. So, like, it doesn't exactly translate exactly the way we do. Like, if you watch a Japanese horror film, it doesn't translate the same way that it does for us, right? And I don't mean the literal translation.
It's a different culture as
well. Yeah, it's like what they find scary, we might not find scary. What we find scary, they may not, or whatever, right? So there are cultural differences. But either way... he is obviously deeply embedded in Western culture, so it's going to be, I think, geared towards more like us, and I think it's going to be great. I just 26. I don't know, with the way he operates, I think he's going to take a little more time with it.
I don't know.
He never rushes his games out.
I feel like OD is probably ready, and he's almost done with it, and it's set for 2026. So? Yeah, I just don't.
All right, that'd be fun.
I also feel like that game's going to come out and. A certain amount of fans will really be happy about it, but it may not resonate with people. The thing about Kojima that doesn't resonate with me is his extremely strong Japanese culture translated to try to make a Western action movie. That's what it looks like to me when I play Metal Gear Solid 5 and 4 and Death Stranding and stuff. Like, it's this strong... It's like someone with a really heavy accent trying to play a just dyed-in-the-wool American cliche thing. It doesn't... I don't understand it, and it's too weird for me. Like, this is
I'm excited for
interpretation of a Western thing. And what else? Western sounds like cowboy, but... It's hard to explain.
Western culture thing, yeah. No, I get what you're saying. I understand what you're saying. By the way, new creation, I'm in my 50s, dude. So he goes, you guys look great for your late 40s. And I'm like, nah, dude, I'm already past 50. So
I'm 6 months away or whatever. Yeah, we appreciate that.
Eat your beets, folks. Eat your beets.
Eat your beets and use oil of Olay. Riskit says in 2023, I played and finished over 35 games. And then he says kisses. I did not play that many games this year and finish. But sometimes there have many years where I have, but this past 2 years has been a lot of the same games for a longer time. But
but Riskit has no friends, and like who the hell's talking to that guy? So they're all like, hey, just leave him in the corner. He's fine over there.
No,
just leave him in the corner.
Yeah, we appreciate.
Stay there, mate. Stay there. Play your games, mate. Yeah. And that's it. That's so obviously he was alone in the corner clearly crying to himself quietly. Because if he cried out loud, his family were going to beat him up. So,
what are you doing in there?
Corner. Yeah, and he's just crying with a towel on his head and playing his games. He shorted out all his controllers because the tears were getting into like the thumbsticks and ruined all the controllers. And, that's how it kind of went.
We're just a couple days away from the new year.
Hey man, we got to end it with a bang, eh?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't celebrate the moment that the calendar changes over to another number. But we've had a pretty good year of games, and 2026 looks really, really good. So happy New Year to everybody. We will be back in 2026. We'll be back next year, but we'll be back next week. Yeah, everyone says the dumbest stuff like that all the time. Like, see you next year and stuff.
See you next year. I love it though.
Goofy. What would it be? Oh, the 5th of January. Yeah. So, yeah, everything will be ramping up. Thank you, everybody, for all of your support. And thanks for watching the show. Hit the like button. Mag and I are going to call it a night.
Yes,
I
sir.
will be playing Fallout 76 with my good friends, That Blue Number, and with Game Seeker, and hopefully Dante, if I can get him back on again. And I've got another video. Tomorrow, I will be up on my day off working on a really big video about all of the games that are coming in 2026. And I knew I had to work on that, and the Elder Scrolls thing kind of fell in my lap yesterday. So thank you guys for all your support. Mag, tell them where to watch what content you have coming, and we'll get out of here.
Yes. I dropped a video today. A lot of traffic through that. I did a couple of shorts today, too. That was kind of fun. And tomorrow's Magcast, so we will still be in 2025, ladies and gentlemen, and my last show of the year will be tomorrow night, 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, not 8:45. I moved it to 8:30 because it's so stupid. I'm like, why did I do 8:45? 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, that will be the standard time for Magcast tomorrow night. Friday Night Live is back this Friday, where I'll be streaming the new Fire and Ash what the hell's it called? Avatar game. I will be playing the expansion this Friday in third-person action goodness. So I'm going to have some fun doing that this for Friday Night Live. And then, we'll take it from there, and then we'll see what else happens this week. So, yeah, we got a lot of exciting things going on. I just wanted to say, by the way, 2 quick things. One thing, I did my children's charity, which I was absolutely flabbergasted. I couldn't believe it, dude. I was no joke. I was in tears because I couldn't believe it. I had set a goal for $1,000, and I thought to myself, I'm like, there's no way I'm going to reach this. And in 36 hours, ladies and gentlemen, for Children's Hospice, the goal of $1,000 was completely smashed. We ended up Gamers United and came together $1,769 in 36 hours for Children's Hospice charity. So we did that. That has already been sent to them, and that will hopefully make some children's lives and their families' lives a little bit easier. So it was absolutely amazing. 78, I see you in the chat there, brother. He was a big supporter of that, man. So yes, and Josh Duckwall's in the chat. I see you too, brother. You guys were all so incredibly generous. So thank you very much for that. We will do it again in 12 months from now. As for Mag Show, the channel, I have crossed 3,000 plus subscribers and counting. And so that number shot up again today.
Wait, you crossed it tonight?
I crossed it yesterday, 3,000 subs. And then now it's moving up the ranks. So 2026 is going to be a big year for the Mag Show, and I'm really excited, man. So super happy that we crossed the 3,000 mark in 11 months. So it's all great. But anyways, you guys have a great night. We'll see whoever wants to come out. We'll see you guys tomorrow night on Magcast, and if not, then we'll see you next Monday on XNC. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, everybody, for all your support. Hit the like button on the way out and send a comment after the video posts. Timestamps are already ready and rocking, ready to go. And we'll see you. Check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, other platforms. Go subscribe to Mag and have a good night. We'll see you in a couple days.